Oh, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, June 3rd, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NHL Stanley Cup Finals, game number 1, Florida Panthers versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Live reactions and a watch party with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. So we're going to get started with the puck drop in roughly, I would assume, 14 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that general range. I've been looking forward to this matchup ever since the playoffs started. I didn't know if we were going to end up getting these two teams. I thought Dallas was pretty strong. We saw Carolina get on a little bit of a run themselves, but facts, we do have the two best teams here left in the Stanley Cup, the best overall team in the Vegas Golden Knights, and then the hottest team in the Florida Panthers. So definitely excited to see where this goes, and I got some pretty cool photos lined up for you guys today. And then I had to hit you with the brilliant thumb there. We're here, man. We're finally here. And like I said, I think Florida, they've been very, very good since going down 3-1 in the Boston Bruins series, coming back and winning that and surprising the hell out of everyone. And then going, obviously, in Toronto, winning the first 2 games in Toronto, going into Carolina, winning the first 2 games in Carolina. Now, can they do the miracle? Can they go into Vegas and win the first 2 games in Vegas? I mean, they might have to if they want to win the Stanley Cup, or at least split and win game 1 or game 2. And if Florida can win game 1 or game 2, definitely I think that, they're going to be able to get at least 1 or 2 games at home as well. So the longer that we can, extend this series to 6 or 7 would be ideal. But again, we may see the Nuggets on the NBA side sweep the Heat or win in 5, 4-1. And we may see the same thing here where Florida is going to be very, very good, but Vegas might be just too much. Their defensemen are 6'2" to 6'6". Aiden Hill, 6'4". Obviously been very, very good back there. But, hey, Florida's got a guy, Sergei Bobrovsky, that's maybe a little bit better. They're both kind of neck and neck. So I'm definitely excited to see how this all plays out. All right, let's go through some of the photos that we have here today, starting off with the Vegas Golden Knights. Captain Jack Eichel. Had to throw up a couple of him. He's going to be able to bring it in this series. And it's wild to see how good Vegas has been since the inaugural season. How many Stanley Cup appearances, how many deep runs that they've been able to have. It's very, very impressive. And I hope the Kraken, my team, Seattle, can actually follow in their footsteps. Maybe not step for step because Vegas is on another level, but we can have goals. And we'll see if Jonathan Marchessault can get them going. They have so many weapons. I got Marchessault. You don't even need Captain Jack to really do a whole lot. What we've seen is some of the others step up, like Jonathan Marchessault, but primarily William Karlsson. This guy has been fucking amazing. Okay? I see you. Alex Pietrangelo. Ivan Barbashev. Keegan Colasar. William Carrier. And I got a couple team shots here for Vegas. We got to make sure we're throwing the representation up here. We got the goalies. I love this one. Nice little collage. And Aiden Hill, he's been slowly getting better and better. I mean, he's got great teammates around him, so sometimes he doesn't have to do as much as the other goalies. Obviously we saw with Frederik Andersen and Sergei Bobrovsky there in the East. I felt that those two were the best, but I felt that Aiden Hill was kind of there. And obviously we saw Jake Ottinger kind of drop the puck, so to speak, as of drop the ball. I mean, he was good kind of early on, shaky against Seattle, and definitely kind of fell apart. So we'll definitely see what we get here. And this is what the eyes on the prize is. And, Vegas and Florida got their eyes on the prize. Let's go over to Florida. I like some of these players for Florida. Matthew Tkachuk. I mean, if you can't like him, I mean, come on. I mean, this is a big part of their team. They brought him in to be able to do something like this. This might be like a year or 2 early for Florida, but sometimes when you get hot and you get healthy, things kind of come together. Carter Verhaeghe, he's going to have to really get it going. Verhaeghe. And then my favorite on the team, Sergei Bobrovsky. And he has to be the best player on the team besides Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe. If he ends up being lights out, that might be the only chance that Florida has. Oh, I should get a Sam Bennett in here as well. But it really is going to come down to that. And I feel that they got enough goal scoring to be able to keep up. All right, let's see if I can get a good one here. There it is. They can't let those two guys run around. Vegas has to straighten them out early in this hockey game. All right, here we go. I got a good one of Sam Bennett. Don't know how often I'm going to end up using the photo, but you never know, right? You want to make sure that you're prepared. All right, there we go. That's clean. It looks good. Let's go, baby. It should be a lot of fun. And then tomorrow we'll figure out if we're going to do NASCAR, if we're going to do baseball, or if we end up doing the NBA Finals game number 2. Because NASCAR is going to be early, I believe, like around lunchtime. And then the basketball game is on at 5. And with NASCAR, it's kind of hit or miss, just like, you know, certain streams will do better than others depending on the event. If I knew that we could get a good crowd to come through on the NASCAR side, I wouldn't mind doing that. But, you know, we'll probably end up doing the NBA Finals game 2 just because it'll be in that particular time slot. So, Sarah in the building, how are you? Let's get to 100 in donos. Hey, you know, the Mariners get absolutely crushed, but, you know, I'm still wearing the gear. I'm still going to represent. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Yeah, and that's going to be a good one. That's on Fox right now. I was watching a little bit of that. Seriously, man, congratulations with that. I don't got anything bad to say. I don't have anything negative to say. They're fantastic. But also, you know, ended up getting our pitcher that just got called up, and you roughed him up early, and I kind of knew that was going to be the flow of the game. You know, anytime you end up getting down like 10-3 and then like 13-3 and then it's like 15-3, yeah, it's not exciting. You know what I mean? No one likes to lose that badly, but, you know, it happens. And you got to give the credit where credit is due. And, yeah, they're phenomenal, man. They are just rolling on every single level right now. Yeah, 16-6. My goodness. Well, at least you got to have something to cheer for. You know, the Stars are out, so at least you got the Rangers. And some people, you know, weren't even that hardcore of a Ranger fan. But, you know, when the team starts doing good, you know, you got to hop on the wagon and just don't hop off. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of times Texas would be at the bottom or second to last or like in the middle, you know, kind of around Oakland and the Angels, you know, with Houston and Seattle up towards the top. But obviously it's your guys' division this year. Houston is creeping, you know, but I hope you guys end up winning it. I think it'll be awesome. Ooh, look at you going to Hawaii. Nice. With the fam, I assume. Let's go, baby. So do we got any predictions for this particular? And you know I'm pretty good with the predictions. I usually have a pretty good gauge, you know, the closer we end up actually getting to the Super Bowl, the Natty, World Series, Stanley Cup Final, NBA Finals, whatever it is. But I feel like even though Florida is a heavy underdog, the way that they've been able to beat teams in the playoffs, they have a legitimate shot. I don't think they're the Miami Heat. I think they're better than the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are looking like they're going to get swept, maybe win one game, maybe the most 2. But with Florida, I feel Florida can win 2 games, maybe 3. And if they end up stealing the first 2 games on the road, maybe they can win it, you know, in 6 or 7. Like, I think that's really going to be the key for Florida. If Florida can win the first 2 games or at least split, then that gives them a way better chance long-term in the series. And I know Vegas can win in Florida, you know, and Florida can win in Vegas, but for this particular series, when you got like David and Goliath, you know, where you you so many tall bodies, the best team overall, Vegas Golden Knights, and then you got a team that is hot, right? But very, very hot, but they've had a lot of time off. So maybe, you know, they're not going to be, you know, with that Uncle Mo, that Uncle momentum that they had with Boston, Toronto, and Carolina. And obviously Vegas is on a whole nother level besides Boston. I feel like Carolina and Toronto are nowhere near Vegas. Vegas and Boston, like when Boston was in the regular season, that's a good comparison. So, who knows what's going to end up happening, but I hope that Florida ends up, bringing their A game. And it's really going to come down to Aiden Hill to see what he does, or you might end up getting, a surprise with Sergei Bobrovsky, but he's got to be the better goalie. He has got to be the catalyst. He's got to be the leader. He's got to be the guy that sets the tone to help them win these first 2 games or at least split. And then obviously you got to get big production from Matthew Tkachuk. Carter Verhaeghe has got to be a factor, and maybe even a sprinkle in a little Sam Bennett. So, I mean, obviously they're a little overmatched, but you can argue they have the better goalie, and they're hot just as anybody else. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they're intimidated, because if you're able to go through Boston and all the accolades, number 1 team, most points, they're breaking all these records, and you beat them, that was like your Super Bowl or your Stanley Cup. You already got it in the first round. You already knew you were going to take out Toronto and Carolina after that. They weren't on your level, but when you're going now back to a Boston level in Vegas, this is going to be their hardest test. And I don't think anybody's sweeping. I don't think that, Vegas is good enough to sweep. I don't know if Florida is, based off Vegas's talent, but I am hoping that we go 6 or 7 games. But it is possible it could end up going 5. I don't think 4. I think Florida has too much talent at goalie, as well as with Tkachuk and Verhaeghe, just to be able to be like, well, we got here and now we're just going to roll over and die. I legitimately think Florida has a shot to win the Stanley Cup. And if I didn't honestly believe that, I wouldn't say it. Momentum is a motherfucker in sports. So nice. Sounds like fun. And I just want to have a good matchup, and I'm really happy. I mean, of course, if it was Kraken and the Panthers, how excited I would be, but I just knew we're not good enough. Not yet. One day, though, I think the Kraken maybe be able to get to the Stanley Cup final. Give us 10 years, and hopefully by that time, we'll have at least 1 appearance. No guarantees. We know how difficult it is, but if we can follow in the footsteps, either in Florida based on being hot at the right time, or just trying to follow in the footsteps of maybe Vegas on being that new team on the scene, and then, just seeing how far you can go and seeing what else that, you can end up pulling out of the hat. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Yeah, very interested to see how the goalies match up in this. Like, I already know, Vegas has got more goal scorers, and they're bigger on defense, 6'2" to 6'6", Aiden Hill 6'4", and so I know that it's going to be tough. But Florida has not been intimidated the whole playoffs, so I don't think they're going to get intimidated anytime soon. Daniel's in the building. He says, "Go Knights." And obviously, if you're doing bets, I would assume most people are going to be betting on Vegas, like they were betting on the Denver Nuggets. But again, I do think Florida has a shot. And to me, instead of winning like 1 game and maybe the maxing out at 2, I think that, they can win anywhere between 2 to 4 games, Florida. So, with that being said, you have to be able to set the tone. And if you can set the tone in the first game or the first 2 and do the unthinkable and go 2-0 and then go back to Florida with a 2-0 lead, I don't think that they would necessarily win both games at home and sweep Vegas if that were to happen. Vegas would be, ready to go to be able to fight for their lives. And they won't get, no one's going to get swept. But I definitely am wanting to see the energy that Florida comes out in, because they're going to have to come out with a lot of energy. And if they're flat, in this game or in game 2, you already know what's going to happen. Vegas will wear you down, and then eventually you're just not going to have enough. So, and Vegas can put up those goals. So, but it should be electric, right? I'm excited. Should be pretty good. And hopefully we get some goats to come in the room and hang out, and we're going to have a good time today. All right, let me flip it back over to the Fox broadcast.
You can do this. I can do this.
All right, I think I have it here.
Do this.
Oh, it's commercial. I'll have to keep up on that as we're kind of cycling through the games and whatnot. Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. But Garrett Cole is pitching. So, I mean, it's dude, if you can't win with Garrett Cole, then you don't deserve to win. After what the Dodgers did to them, obviously last night. So you got Grove. Grove has got like an 8.05 ERA. I mean, if you can't beat that, then you don't deserve to win. So we'll see what happens. But I assume the Yankees will get payback today, and then it'll be 50-50 tomorrow. Just like I was saying last night in the broadcast. So let's go, baby. Are we ready for this? Let's go. So I finally figured out why my leg was hurting. So remember when I ended up, going down to the nature park, and then I fell down that like 10-foot embankment with Paisley, and I fucked my arm up. And, and then about 2 weeks later, I was going down another place by the river, and she pulled on the leash. I should have just dropped it and let her walk and go ahead of me. And then, I got pulled down, and I twisted my knee up really bad. I thought I could have really seriously injured it. And then obviously I'm usually, walking about an hour to 2 a day. Now I have shin splints. I haven't had shin splints since I was in high school, playing sports like basketball and football. And what that is a very, very sharp pain in the front of your leg right before it gets to your foot. But that front part of your leg really, really sore. And like I said, I've had it for about a week, and I just started icing it, and it's starting to feel a little bit better. But it's one of those things Paisley needs. She needs the exercise, so I have to be able to push and walk a little bit harder. But my God, shin splints are the fucking worst. If you've ever had them, they're fucking terrible. And again, I haven't had them since high school, but it makes you almost like crippled, where you can't really walk normal. You have to walk with like a limp, because it feels like someone's stabbing you with scissors or knives, in the front of your foot, like 10 of them. The pain, and it's like a good chunk of the leg in the front. It doesn't go all the way up to the kneecap, but the front part of the leg, where those bones are right in the front, like right there. And like I said, I was wondering what the hell is wrong with me, and I had to look it up. And I was like, okay. I was like, pain in the front of my lower leg. What is that? And then I was like, oh, shin splints. Oh, so yes. Plantar does suck. I've never had it. But I know I've a few people like yourself and a few others that have had it. It's just terrible. Just freaking terrible. But you know what's not terrible? Stanley Cup Finals 2023. Florida Panthers. Vegas Golden Knights. Let's go. Are we ready for this? Obviously, we enjoy this a little bit more than the NBA. So hopefully we end up getting some people to come through that can share the passion and the excitement, and hopefully we end up getting a good game one. Oh, that's tough. And I appreciate you helping out on the Twitter, and hopefully we have a better turnout than yesterday. All you can do is just grind and grind a little bit more. And then, every day is a different day to try to, prove yourself and whatnot. But it gave me time to, spend time with Paisley, go outside, do the walk, even though I was a little injured. Did a little bit of cleaning with the computer and the mics and the overall area. Things were getting a little dusty and whatnot. So I got all that cleaned up, and yeah, we're good to go now. So everything should be ready to go. And Wayne Gretzky in the building. Man, Vegas, they're ready. And they're confident, which they should be. But I would not be shocked if Florida ends up winning game 1 or game 2. I mean, everyone assumes Vegas is going to, be up 2-0 in the series. But, I mean, why? I mean, are we totally ignoring what Florida did, throughout that? We're just Vegas, and we're just not going to listen to anyone else. I mean, you got to at least respect what they're doing, And they have the better goalie, not by much, you know what I mean? But I think Aiden Hill has been pretty damn good. And I was looking at some of the stats, and they're pretty comparable. But from what I've seen, I mean, I would rather go Sergei, but if there's not that much of a difference. But also Sergei usually gets more shots towards him, so he has to put up more effort. With Aiden Hill, it's like the offense and the defensemen are so good that he doesn't really have to work as hard, I feel. So I still think he's a good player, but sometimes I think the offense bails him out, so he doesn't have to do as much. And there's been some amazing games from Aiden Hill, but if I had to choose, I'm going with Sergei, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, we got 15 minutes to go. Well, why did they say the game is going to start at 5 if it's going to actually start at 5:20? All right, well, let me go back to the Yankees and the Dodgers then. If I got to wait 15 more minutes, well, let's watch a little baseball on Fox while we're waiting. Let's go, baby. Donaldson, strike three. 2-1 Yankees. Wow, that's crazy. Grove, he's not even that good of a pitcher. He's like one of their backups. Like, very, very low on the rotation. They got, normally they'll have like Kershaw, Walker Buehler, obviously been a little hurt. Urias, you have all these guys. They had Anderson and Gonsolin, obviously from last year. Things are a little different this year. But, it's not like Grove is this like fantastic pitcher. Guy's got 6 Ks against the Yankees right now. He's wheeling and dealing. I did not expect Grove to pitch like this. If Grove pitches like this, the Dodgers actually could win this against Cole. And that sometimes you get a little surprised. Cole has got 3 Ks and Grove has got 6. But, of course, feeding off the home crowd and being at home will be a big difference, too. Let's go, baby. And hopefully we can get some people to show up and spend some time with us and show some love and support. Top of the 4th, Yankees 2, Dodgers 1, 1-2 count. 1 out. Grove, 6 Ks already. And LeMahieu in the box. Big swing and a miss. Got him. 7 Ks. Wow. The hell is going on here? My dad's happy about this. You tell me. You know what I mean? Loyalty, is a big, big thing. You know what I mean? And I work every day. And all I can do is, grind it out, try to improve everything every day. The last thing that needed to be improved was the thumbs. And now we got that on lock and everything is good to go. But, it just really depends on, who appreciates and who wants to put in the time and spend time with us, That's why, like if people are like, oh, we should have more subs. We should have more, views. We should have more donos. Well, it takes a team effort. You know what I mean? And it's like if the mods aren't showing up and like a lot of the other goats don't show up, how do you expect other people to fucking show up if they don't show up? You know what I'm saying? So, we need to be better as a group, especially with the, the core that we built. I feel like a lot of the core, I'm not saying abandon us, but you know what I mean? Like, it would be nicer to be able to have some of these people come through more on a regular basis. But again, like I said, not everyone's loyalty is going to be the same. Top of the 4th, Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. Candace in the building. How are you? Yeah, but that's why when you get the people that come in here and they make, certain comments, well, like I said, if, these people that are making the comments actually were here all the time, you know what I mean? And then it would have more people show up, like it's a snowball effect, But it is a shame for as hard as I work, as hard as you work, all the time and effort that I put in, the prepping that goes in hours before the stream starts. It's just, sometimes it feels a little, unfair, compared to other channels where it seems so much easier for them to get recommended and, and have those people come through. And we already know people are a bunch of followers as well. A lot of people can't make their own decisions for themselves. So they have to look to see where the people are or what the sub count is, regardless if they think the channel is good or not. But there's not a lot of people that are going to lead. There's going to be a lot of people that are following. So big home run from Bowers. Bowers, bang! 4-1 Yankees. But I am ready for this matchup. And, I can't control what other people do. I can't control with other mods. I can't control with the regulars, and I can't control, what the tube does with the algorithm and everything. And it just, I just want it to be in our favor for once. But we just got to keep going, keep fighting. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa 0 for 1 strikeout in the second. Yankees 4, Dodgers 1, top of the fourth, 1-1 count. We are just waiting a few more minutes until the Stanley Cup starts. So I'm just going over to Fox, and this is in Oregon on my local broadcast, so I can watch my dad's Dodgers play here. Had a nice win against the Yankees yesterday, and now Yankees are trying to get some payback. Garrett Cole, obviously there, and they got a little intro here for the Stanley Cup, so I might as well flip it back. They got like a whole like Vegas Golden Knight, like Star Wars theme going on here. So they got like the Vegas Golden Knight, and then they got a Darth Vader or someone that's kind of dressed in black. They're really trying to make a spectacle out of this, aren't they? And they're doing it on skates on top of that. So one guy's got a sword, and then the other guy's got a sword and a shield. Chris in the building. What's good, bro? Just getting ready to watch the Stanley Cup Finals game number 1. Let's go, baby. Oh, they're making it a spectacle. Let's go. All right, baby. Captain Jack Eichel, I see you. Jonathan Marchessault. William Carlson. Alex Pietrangelo. Ivan Barbashev. Keegan Colasar. William Carrier. And we got some nice team photos. Let's go, Vegas. I see you. We got the goalies and Aiden Hill. Eyes on the prize. And then for the visiting Florida Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk is going to have to be literally lights out for them to be able to compete. Carter Verhaeghe has got to be dominant as well. Not just okay, but those have got to be the two guys that kind of lead the way. And you're going to have to get contributions from Sam Bennett. And the best goalie left in the Stanley Cup final, Sergei Bobrovsky. Aiden Hill's not that far back, but we will see who ends up imposing their will. Let's go. And we will see if Florida cooled down a little bit or if they still are going to have that Uncle Mo and that momentum. Let's go, baby. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, like I said, from stream to stream, sometimes it ends up being really, really good, and we'll hit, 300 to like 1,300, in donos, and then other times we'll be under 50, so, sometimes it's really, really good, sometimes really questionable, you know what I mean, especially with all the hard work and all the preparation and everything, because like a lot of streamers, they kind of bare bones and kind of just do the bare necessity to get going. But with me and everything that I have to do based on how I do my presentation, I got to do a lot more. I got to get a lot more set up before we even get going. So let's go, baby. 4-1 Yankees up on the Dodgers, middle of the fourth. Energy is high in the building. All right, baby. Let's go.
It's game 1 of the Stanley Cup final. The Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. To public address announcer, Bruce Cusick.
All right, PA announcer, we're getting closer and closer to getting started. Let's go. I am actually looking forward to the A's moving to Vegas. I mean, they have plenty of people that have money and they'll be drinking and having a good environment there. I mean, Oakland A's baseball is fucking dead. So once they get that going over there, I imagine that they'll do very well there. Oh, so do we have any predictions here tonight or who people are going for? I don't really care who wins, honestly. Vegas is kind of like the big brother and Florida's like little brother. And I always like an underdog story. I just don't know if they're good enough to complete, the underdog story, the Cinderella story. But I'll be rooting for Florida. I feel, like even if they don't win, like I just want to be able to see what they can do. Vegas, I feel like 90% of the country is going to be rooting for them, unless you are a fan of the underdogs like myself. And obviously Vegas has a higher chance of winning. Their probability of winning the Stanley Cup is probably like 70% to Florida's 30. But hopefully it ends up being just a good quality Stanley Cup that goes 6 or 7. I don't want to see any sweeps. And again, if Florida can end up winning game 1 and game 2 or split 1 or 2, then it's going to give them a hell of a better chance to be able to show people how good they really are. There's my boy Sergey. And energy is high there. But it is Stanley Cup final, right? Alec Martinez. Their players are just so big, tall, wide. It's going to be very hard for Florida to win. But it kind of feels like Vegas is going to win it all. It just feels that way. They're not as, I don't want to say they're not as good as the Denver Nuggets because I feel like they're just as strong as the Denver Nuggets, where it's just like, you can kind of play with them, but can you actually beat them in a series? That's the difference. And Miami doesn't have anyone to cover the Joker. And, Florida, I don't know. They don't really match up the greatest, but at least they have a sensational goalie. So. Let's go. Oh, baby, let's go. Well, it looks like maybe it's just you and me then, huh? Maybe we're the only ones that care about hockey then, I guess. Is that how it goes? We try to be able to, grind it out, but Michael Buffer in the building. It's like it doesn't even really matter what we do. It's like, NBA finals, good baseball matchup, NASCAR. I don't want to be hated on anymore. I just want an opportunity to be able to be seen, but again, it's a team effort. Let's go. Crowd is very, very lively out there. I like it. All right, here we go. And I definitely want to see how these teams feel each other out, if they're going to play conservative. But I have a feeling that we're going to get goals in the first period. Sometimes, it's just going to be 0-0 and then you'll get the goals in the second period. But I just want to see if Florida can be aggressive and if they can play with purpose and play like they're the favorite instead of the underdog. But either way, I think it's going to be a really fun Stanley Cup, regardless if Vegas or Florida wins. If Florida wins, then it gives everyone hope that anything is possible, even, being a lower seed that can win it all. And then if Vegas wins, it just, they're kind of like the Denver Nuggets this year. They're just, one of the better teams besides Boston, but Boston isn't here. And Vegas is trying to take advantage. Ooh, big hit on Carrier already. Florida coming out pretty aggressive. I like that. Nice save. Well, extracurriculars already. $18:30 left in the first period. Florida and Vegas going at it. Stanley Cup Finals game number 1. Oh, Florida's got 4 hits already to Vegas's 1, so I like them setting that tone a little bit. And we're going to get good goalie play, and obviously goalie is my favorite position in hockey, so we'll be able to see that.
94 White comes all the way back right there. And then Mahura does a good job of not allowing Carlson to get anything on it. So not only
All right, let's go. 18:04 left in the first period. Florida with 1 shot on goal, Vegas with none. Florida with 5 hits to Vegas' 1. I like them being aggressive on the road, and they've won both of the face-offs until that one that Vegas just won, 2-1. And that's exactly what you want. You want Florida to be able to win the shots on goal, the hits, and the face-offs, and put the pressure on the home team. We already know how good Vegas is, but they may be a little cocky and a little overconfident. You know, with the Nuggets, they don't really come off as cocky and overconfident. They just play defense, and they're a rebounding team, and the Joker is the best player in the world, and they just don't match up. Jimmy Butler is not the Joker. You know, they're good with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy, but they're not the same team. You know, one team is like a 4 to 8 seed, and this year they're an 8 seed that got hot. The Nuggets were a number 1 seed all year, and same thing almost kind of goes in this. Is like you got a number 1 seed in Vegas and kind of like an 8 seed, kind of like in Florida. But this 8 seed in Florida, for example, has been much harder than Miami. It feels like they got a little bit more left in the tank. They're not just going to roll over and die like Miami. They got a little bit more, I feel like quality players on the roster, and they have the better goalie, so that will always help. $16:45 left in the first period. Very aggressive out there. Florida is checking the shit out of the Vegas players into the glass, onto the ice. And that's exactly what they need to do. They need to act like they're the bully. They need to act like they are the number 1 seed. They need to act like they're Boston. And they are. It's pretty impressive. Nice save. Chippy. Punch. Let's go. Got a couple guys already getting chippy, throwing punches already. I love it.
Martinez took exception, rightfully so. You see the left part of your screen on the center ice there. You see the partition, the padding over there with protection. They're going to have to fix this over there. This is a dangerous area at ice level. Carl, the cameraman's trying to do it right now. Oh boy, Carl. But he didn't repair it the last time and wasn't very good, so I'm not sure. We may need better help than that. Just get some of that old gory outtake.
Oh, that sounds good. I had one a couple days ago, and it was fire. Like we ended up getting a BLT with fries, and then I had this like chicken bacon Caesar salad that had like onion and like tomato and egg and all kinds of stuff. Nice save by Sergei Bobrovsky. But yeah, the BLT, I was sometimes you get into a craving for one, and it was very good. Nice job, Sergei. I like Sergei a lot. Probably my favorite player that's in the Stanley Cup right now. Let's go, baby.
Days in between games where we're up with Bobrovsky was out as hot as he was going in, and it's outstanding to see him make a stop like that early. Shot by Bobrovsky. Martinez. Another save made by the two-time President Trophy winner. And his positioning, Jonesy, right? Well out on top of the blue paint. I mean, talking to Hank and talking to Panger just about, the layoff and everything. It's just, you can practice all you want and control scrimmages and everything, but to get back into the speed of it and just positioning there, and when the goaltender's out.
Yeah, I try to message her, usually like once a week, just to kind of check up to see how things are going. Yeah, that'll be nice to be able to have her back in the building, and hopefully we can get a better turnout overall. Because, like I said, a lot of with the algorithm and everything, it's like, people commenting, people hitting the like button, that's a big part of it. It's like all the little statistics and everything. So, oh, we got a whistle.
Matthew Tkachuk for a point on 42% of the Panthers' goals during this postseason.
Matthew Tkachuk, 42%. Verhaeghe, 30%. Eichel, 29%. Wow. Yeah, we haven't really seen Holly at all in 2023. Very, very briefly and whatnot. I hope that she's doing better, mentally and physically, everything. But it does show you how sometimes as simple as one or two people being in the room, how much of a difference it makes with vibe. And like food and all the other things that we go in, you can definitely tell the people that have the intelligent conversation and that can, carry a conversation in the room. And, not everyone can be like her. That's for damn sure. Oh, nice pass. Oh, good defense by Florida. Yeah, me too. So we got 3 shots on goal for Vegas, 2 for Florida, 7 hits for Florida, 2 for Vegas, and Vegas has got 6 faceoffs, 1 to Florida's 2. But I like Florida's aggressiveness. I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not. It's like, I mean, they were kind of like, the underdog, little brother. But again, when you beat Boston, then you probably think, we're just going to keep going. And, I already knew Toronto and Carolina had no shot. After you beat Boston, like that confidence level is on an all-time high. Because we could have had a Vegas Boston final, and then who would have won that? Then that would have been like very even. Even though I think this series is pretty even, but if Boston was able to do what they were supposed to do, and we had Boston and Vegas, maybe Boston would have been the favored team and Vegas would be the underdog, just depending on how how they would run through the rest of the opponents the same way as Florida did, if they were able to get past Florida. Puck out of play. All right, we're going to a commercial break. 3 shots on goal each. Florida with 8 hits, Vegas with 3. Face-offs 1, Vegas 6, Florida 2, and no power play, no penalty minutes just yet.
With an unlimited plan that's truly right for me. With Verizon's new My Plan, I get exactly what I want, and I only pay for what I need.
Now I'm in charge of my plan. Introducing My Plan from Verizon, the first and only plan.
Crazy thing is also too is like, once you start to like firm up things and make things look nicer, like thumbs, you would think it would help. You think it would, regardless of the algorithm or not, that you would think that this is going to help boost, a certain, and sometimes it does, but it definitely hasn't improved the way that I thought it would, with the thumbs and whatnot. So it really does show you it's more than just having a fucking fire thumb. You got to be able to be in the algorithm, and they definitely only push, the channels that they want to push, the ones that are making money for them and whatnot. So. But we just got to keep going, keep moving. I mean, I don't think I have really, like I said, I can try to open up the other program. And the thing is, if everyone wants me to do a channel, like everybody else, where, I can have, maybe possibly a scoreboard, because I know a lot of people like the scoreboard aspect or the stats like behind them, but then if I do that, that means no ticker and no photos. If I go to that other platform, it's just going to be, whatever scoreboard that I have, if I'm able to kind of use that, but again, the reason that I went away from that other platform is because that it was running my computer too hard, and it wasn't loading, and it wasn't streaming properly. It was like lagging, because of the program, not my internet. So, and I'm not really sure, like I could go to that format and get similar or worse results. So it's like, I don't really know what to do. I do like the ticker, and I do like being able to do the photos and whatnot. But, if the people on YouTube want me to do it like everyone else does and have no originality and just, have like a stat page behind me, or have a scoreboard, which I do enjoy scoreboards. I mean, I paid Johnny quite a bit to get the scoreboard for the NFL, and I barely got to use it. for college football and NFL. And then I would have to get some more teams for the other sports to implement in there. But unfortunately, on this particular format, it doesn't allow me to implement it. So it's kind of like I'm in a rock and a hard place, because I do love the scoreboards and that look, but then you have no ticker and you have, no photos whatsoever. So, and there's no guarantee that if I ended up going to that I'm even going to get different results. But we just have to work hard and be consistent, and then pray, and that everything is going to work out, just like with my phone and my wallet. 13-10 left in the first period. Yeah, but it definitely does get frustrating when you've been doing a dream for 11 years and you're 7 years on YouTube and you feel like you're treated like a fucking child that's just, started a YouTube channel that doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, I feel like that sometimes, it's like, but again, I understand how many millions and millions of YouTube channels there are, and we are in the 2% elite that are over 10,000 subs, because only 2% out of all YouTube channels are over 10,000. So we're there, but I'm not satisfied with that. You know what I mean? Like, anytime you've been putting all your, love and blood, sweat, and tears, you just want to be able to get in front of the right people and have a fair chance to grow. I don't think that's asking too much. Ooh, big hit. Oh, good save. But at least I'm not a quitter, and at least I have extreme work ethic, and no one is going to ever outwork me. I'm always going to be reading and doing the film study and grinding it out almost every day, so it's just a matter of getting in front of the right people to be able to have other opportunities open up, and, and just trying to stay positive, throughout all the chaos. Barbashev with a little convo there. 12-12 left in the first period. Four shots on goal for Florida, 3 for Vegas, 9 hits for Florida, 3 for Vegas, and then faceoffs won 7-3. Vegas is leading there now 8-3. Yeah, and a lot of times, it doesn't even have to be the event that we're doing. Like, sometimes people may see it like, oh, I don't like baseball, I don't like basketball, I don't like hockey. Well, you can still come and hang out. There's people that don't even watch the fucking stream game that we're doing. They just hop on and just talk in the chat and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of effort. Oh, they're scrapping. Scrap. Wow. Right in front. These guys are going at it. Oh, the goalie's getting into it. Oh, they're fighting. Oh, shit. Oh, they're going at it. They were getting all into it. Even Aiden Hill was throwing punches. Let's go. Wow. You don't see the goalie. You don't see the goalie throwing punches that often. You know what I mean? Unless it's like the whole team is, involved, and then maybe the goalies are going at it and whatnot. Wow. And they've been getting extra chippy. And again, Florida, has to be verbal. They have to be physical, and they have to be able to show they're not going to get pushed around. They beat the shit out of Boston after getting down 3-1. Beat the shit out of Toronto, beat the shit out of Carolina. So, and it's been right here next to the net here. Boom, 1, 2, sticks, get pushed in the back. Right here, boom, boom. Right there. And then the goalie's on the ground, and then he got pushed in the back right there. And now here he comes to punch. And then he pushes the goalie. And then, yeah! Aiden Hill actually used his stick. Look, he grabs his stick and hits the player in the head. Bang, he says. And then you got a beat down of 4 Golden Knights on 1 Florida Panther. Let's go. They look good. Like I said, they are an underdog. Vegas is the best team, right? Like the Denver Nuggets, but the difference is Florida is better than the Miami Heat. So it's like Miami Heat might get swept, win one game, maybe two, max out. Florida, I feel, can win 2 to 4 games. That's how good they are. They can actually win this, but if they want to be able to win the series, they have to go up 2-0, or split 1-1. And if they can do that, that'll give them a good shot. But if they get down, 2-0 and they go back to Florida, they can win 2 games in Florida and get 2-2. But realistically, if that happens, Vegas is probably like a 70% chance winner, and Florida is like 30%. Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, to me, was 95% Nuggets, 5% Heat. I didn't really think the Heat had a chance. They didn't have like a Giannis type guy or Embiid to match up to the Joker. So I was like, they're not going to be able to hang with that team, and they're not. So, but I honestly feel that Florida's the underdog, but you don't beat the Bruins, right? You don't beat Toronto Maple Leafs and, Carolina, in the way that they did if you just come here and roll over and die. So, and Vegas is still going to be favored. They are the best team going against the hottest team in Florida. But again, they've had like 9, 10, 11 days off since they were able to beat Carolina. So maybe a little bit of that magic and mystique has gone away. But from what I've seen so far, they got the better goalie, even though Aiden Hill's pretty good for Vegas. Sergei Bobrovsky's great. They got Kachuk and Verhaeghe. They got guys that can do it. So I don't really feel that Florida is like out of their element. I really do feel that Florida won't get swept, and I don't think they'll lose one game like 4-1. I think that the minimum number of games Florida is going to win is 2, and as many as 4. So it's definitely looking good. It's going to be very competitive, way more competitive than the Heat and the Nuggets. 5-1 Yankees. Quicksilver in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 and donos. Let's do it. I love Sergey. This is my favorite player that's in the Stanley Cup Finals right now out of both teams. I like goalies a lot. So, being a Kraken fan, I know what I got with Gru, but Sergey's on a whole nother level. And if they want this, that Sergey's got to be the man. He's got to play. He's got to be the best player on the ice, throughout the series. And if he is, then Florida definitely can surprise a hell of a lot of people. It would be kind of cool for sports to have an underdog actually do it too. Because like I said, you could have 10 Cinderella stories and only one wins it all. Most of them get to the Stanley Cup or the NBA Finals or the World Series, or maybe, yeah! Woo! Let's go, Florida. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. 1-0. Panthers. I'm telling you. Like I said, when you look at a team and, you don't have to watch all the games in the regular season and whatnot, you can just tell, body language and how they're playing and how hard they're playing for each other. This Florida team seems a little different, so. Oh, nice. Eric Stahl. And you wouldn't even expect him to score. A wrap around, assisted by Anton Lundell. Wow, he won it at Carolina in 2006? Holy shit. That's a while back.
This season, but the Florida Panthers lived in the Cup 17 years ago.
Let's go, baby. Eric Stahl, wrap around, assisted by Anton Lundell. 1-0, Florida. Love it. Underdogs, baby. It's just something about the underdogs. It's nice to be able to see. Will they be able to complete it? I don't know. But I do know that they're going to fight harder than any other underdog that we've seen in a long fucking time. Like I've seen underdogs in the MLB, I've seen underdogs in the NBA, I've seen underdogs on the NHL, but it's just like last year, we knew Colorado was going to win. Preseason number one, regular season number one, and they were the real deal Holyfield, and they got it done last year, no doubt. I already knew that they were going to win in 6 over Tampa. It's like, yeah, you can go to 3 Stanley Cups in a row with the Lightning, but you're not going to win them all. It's just not how it works. Everyone's too competitive. But I knew we were going to get some goals, and this is exactly the start that you want for Florida. And don't be surprised if they end up winning game 1 or game 2, or even winning both games in Vegas. I mean, that'll shut the crowd up real quick, and then people will be like, damn, I guess they are that good. Because, I mean, if you can beat Vegas in their own building, then you deserve to be able to go all the way. So we'll see what happens. And, if they go up 2-0 in the series or split 1-1, Florida's chances go up very high. I mean, they go from 30% chance, if they drop the first 2 games here in Vegas, or if they win 1 or 2, then they go from 30% chance to probably 50 to 60% chance where they can win now. So it really changes the whole series if they can win game 1 and game 2, or win game 1 or game 2. Because then you got 2 games, obviously, at home in game 3 and game 4, and then game 5, Vegas, game 6, Florida, game 7, if needed, Vegas. So they ain't no joke. They're no Miami Heat. And again, for me, yeah, we can talk about Verhaeghe and Tkachuk, but for me, it really comes down to this. When you have the best goalie that was in the playoffs, Ottinger did shitty, right? I think Frederik Andersen obviously was fantastic for Carolina, but he was their best player. They didn't have anyone else. Sergei is their best guy, but at least you got Tkachuk and Verhaeghe, 2 guys that can score and match up with any of the guys on Vegas with like Eichel or Marchessault or Carlson. So I love it. And then you get surprises in the series where you get guys like Eric Stahl. Like, what are the chances of Eric Stahl scoring a goal, let alone the first goal? That's what is so great about hockey. You never know. Let's go, baby. Nuggets play tomorrow. I believe. I think the Nuggets play. They don't play today. They play tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5. And yes, I got the Nuggets tomorrow. I think the Nuggets are going to either sweep or win in 5. I don't think the Heat can win 2 games anymore. They just don't look good against the Nuggets. The Nuggets are just on a different level. The Joker is the best player in the world. Now, if we ended up having the Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks, and it was Giannis and Joker, that might be the only team that would have been able to hang with them if Giannis was healthy, and they were able to get there. But besides that, there's nobody in the East, since they have Mazzulla for the Celtics. He's not a good coach. So they go backwards a little bit, unfortunately, Boston. And I think Milwaukee is the only team that really matches up. Even the Sixers with Embiid would match up, but they don't have enough supporting cast to be able to do anything. The Sixers don't have a good bench, and their starters aren't very good either, and Harden is overrated. So that's facts. But this is the best opportunity that we've seen an underdog team to be able to go all the way in a long time. And again, it all started getting down 3-1 to the Bruins, and the Bruins were like the Avalanche, most points, most wins, all the records. But then there was this little chinks in their armor where you were just like, what's going on in the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks of the season? And it looked like, they didn't look as strong. And then obviously most people thought Boston was going to win it all, or at least lose in the second round or further, not in the first round. They just ran into the wrong team, and that is the Florida Panthers.
Sounds like they get it from their coach, but I digress. You've got the lead and a power play opportunity. What do you want to see from your team on this?
Power play, baby. Oh, little jab into the chin there. These guys love to fight, and I like that too. You got to be able to show that you're not afraid, and you got to go in there, like you expect to win. Like, yeah, we didn't get lucky beating Boston, Toronto, and, Carolina. And on top of that, when you got down 3-1, most people thought that shit was over, right? And then you go into Toronto, and they're like, we want Florida. Fuck them, right? And what happened? They go into Toronto in the first 2 games and beat their ass. And the series was over after that, right? And then they did the same thing to Carolina, except Carolina didn't say, we want Florida. They already respected them. And then they went into Carolina first 2 games and beat them. So it's very difficult to win 2 games on the road, when you're playing very good teams. But Florida has proven that they're not a regular team right now. They are a championship caliber team, just like Vegas. Oh, that almost went in off the fucking post. Man, Florida is playing great so far. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that. And normally, like I said, with championship games and big games, I feel like my percentage of predicting is like 90%. There's always going to be an opportunity where a team lets me down, like the Eagles, because their defense fucking was ass and they couldn't get to Mahomes for any sacks or picks. And if they were, then they probably could have won that. But again, if your defense blows, you're never going to win a championship. And that's what happened with the Eagles. Offense was great. Defense was terrible. 6:45 left in the first period. Florida 1, Vegas 0. 20 seconds left in the power play. But Stanley Cup is definitely more entertaining than the NBA Finals or the NBA playoffs, in my opinion. It might not have as much name recognition. It may not have as much fans, as the NBA, but it's a better quality product.
Jonesy made mention of the beautiful play there by Sam Bennett. There's Matthew Kachuk. He walks in and a screen by Petrangelo just off that left post.
Kachuk. Look at Dink. Wow. If that was just like 1 inch over, that would have went in. Yeah, they will. It's 5-1. You have Garrett Cole pitching. There's no excuses. And then Grove is already out now. They're on their third pitcher. He had 7 Ks, 8.14 ERA. So, I mean, like I said, I told you guys last night, like you can just look at the lineups and look at the matchups. And I was like, Dodgers were going to win heavy yesterday. And, you already knew that with Garrett Cole. I mean, Garrett Cole's like 6-0. They're not going to lose. All right, 5:30 left in the first period. 1-0 Florida. And I know a lot of the Vegas crowd is like a little shocked. They just probably, I think they came in as a fan base a little cocky, which they should be to a certain degree. But you got to give respect to that other team. You're not playing the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? You're playing a team that is hot as any team, besides yourself. I mean, the only team hotter than Vegas or on the same level as Vegas has been Florida. So. But I am happy that they ended up getting off to a good start there. Shout out to Cyberpunk for helping out on the Twitter side with you as well, Sarah. And then hopefully we'll get a few goats to come through and hang out. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Your boy doesn't want to eat fingernail sandwiches and be homeless. 4:38 left in the first period. Eight shots on goal for Florida, 3 for Vegas. Big hits, Florida with 10, Vegas with 7, and faceoffs 1, Vegas 14, Florida 5. Penalty minutes are dead even at 2 apiece. Oh, good defense by Vegas. Stolen. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Four minutes to go. Get it out of there, Sergey. 3:35 left in the first period. Vegas to the power play.
With the Panthers leading 1-0. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NHL. During the Stanley Cup playoffs, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app, use promo code SKATE. And get Josh Carrera.
when we were a motorized bicycle.
1-0 Florida, 3:33 left in the first period. Let's take a quick peek. 8 shots on goal for Florida, 4 for Vegas. They're being very aggressive, and that's what they need to be, on the road. They need to punch, Vegas in the mouth early and often and get a lead to get that crowd out of it. That's kind of Florida's MO. They score early, they get up 1 or 2 goals ahead of you, then the crowd gets quiet, they shut up, you hear crickets, and all of a sudden, Florida keeps, with that momentum, and then Vegas makes a rally maybe late, but it's too little too late, and then Florida wins. And so far, 1-0. It's exactly what they, the crowd is still not out of it yet. They're still, pretty lit. They're drinking. They're having a good time. But if they get another goal and it go up 2-0, then it definitely will get more quiet. Big hits, Florida 11, Vegas 10. And then faceoffs 1, Vegas 14, Florida 5. Penalty minutes, Florida 4, Vegas with 2.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson at a golf duel for the ages. Watch live Thursday, June 29th on TNT. You have the full tour to purchase tickets. And behind the net there, you see Mahura knocks the stick out of the hands of William Karlsson. See the adjustments that happened in the last series for Vegas. Positioning of Howard and Marchessault in the offensive zone. See which one is in the one-time position. It's all about adjustments on the power play, whether it's game to game or series to series or even period to period. Panthers with a short-handed goal on the first Golden Knights power play. Pass from Marchessault, picked it off Markov, shoveling it down into the Vegas zone.
All right, 3 minutes left in the first period. Florida 1, Vegas 0, and they have been the team that's playing like they're at home. Nice save by Sergei. You ain't getting that. Nice try. And I won't care if Vegas ends up winning. I mean, if anything, they should win. They're the best team. But again, Florida's got the best goalie, and they're the underdog, so I'm going to definitely root for the underdog. And I like being able to see the Cinderella stories, come true. Now, what are the chances of Florida winning? Not very good, overall, you would think. But like I said, this is probably the deepest, and the hottest, kind of underdog team I've seen in any of the 4 major sports in a minute. And that's why I feel that way. If I didn't feel that Florida had a chance, I wouldn't say it. Whoa, there we go. There we go. Vegas with a goal. They're like, hey, we got to be able to do one for our fans. There we go. We got goals in the first. I wanted to make sure that we got goals from both teams, and we did. There we go. And you already know who it is. Jonathan Marchessault, goal 10. Snapshot assisted by Chandler Stevenson and Shea Theodore. Let's go. Anytime, you start feeling good about a team, you can never disrespect the best team. Eventually, they're gonna get something going. Wow. Incredible pass. Nice shot. All right, we're tied up. This is exactly what we wanted to see, a competitive matchup in the Stanley Cup that hopefully goes 7 games. Nice job. Wow, he was on his butt and he made that save. I mean, you're going to get more action in one period in the NHL Stanley Cup than you are in 4 quarters in the NBA Finals. Because you already know what's going to happen with Denver. They're just going to slowly but surely play great defense, rebound the shit out of the ball, pound it down low, and then the game's over. This, you have no idea who's going to win. You don't have any idea where it's going to go. Is it going to go 5, 6, 7? And you don't know who's going to win. Miami Heat has no chance of winning the championship. 0%. But with Florida, there is a chance. I would say their chance right now is probably 40%, 60-40, 70-30, 60-40, somewhere in there. You still got to give Vegas their due. And also Aiden Hill, his frame, 6'4", and all their defensemen as well, 6'2" to 6'6". That most, hockey teams don't have guys that tall that can skate that well, that are that aggressive. And they have good goal scorers as well. All right, we got 1:03 left in the first period. And hopefully we'll get some goats to come through and show some love. 50 seconds. Get it out of there. Scoring chances 6 each. It's been very competitive. And again, the goalie play is going to be good. It's like I thought Frederick Anderson for Carolina was phenomenal, but they just don't have enough goal scorers to keep up with Florida. That was the problem. They needed more guys that could be more aggressive on offense. They just didn't have them. But with this team, with Florida and Vegas, there's plenty of goal scoring opportunities. Each team has 2 studs, and Vegas probably has a few more. Overall, I would say Vegas probably has 3 or 4 guys that are pretty fucking consistent, and then Florida has probably maybe 2 or 3. But then you always have those surprise, players that you don't expect to score, like Stahl, that surprise the hell out of you too. So, hey, 1-1 is a hell of a lot better than 0-0, and it's not like Florida's, getting pushed around out there. That's a good sign. Shows how good their coach is. They beat Boston, and they're acting like, we are the team to beat, not Vegas. And if you can have that mindset, then yeah, it's going to definitely take you further and give you a better shot, because believing is half the battle. If the team believes that they can win, you have a hell of a lot better chance than if the team is just there and they're just happy to be there. End of the first period, we're knotted up at 1. What a great first period. All right, let's go over the stats here real quick, and I'll go over to the Dodgers and Yankees game that's on Fox while we just wait for intermission to start, and then we'll flip back. So we got 9 shots on goal for Florida, 7 for Vegas. Big hits, Florida with 15, Vegas with 11. Face-offs 1, Vegas 16, Florida 7. There's a big disparity there. And then penalty minutes, Florida 4, Vegas 2. So Florida has more shots on goal and more hits, so they're staying aggressive, but they're not winning the face-offs. But it's not hurting them yet. It's still knotted up at 1. And they scored first, so good for Vegas to be able to recover and stop the bleeding. What a game. What a matchup. I knew this was going to be good. And again, any period of the Stanley Cup Finals is going to be better than any game that you see in the NBA Finals. I mean, if Miami ended up having some better talent on the team, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and then another guy like an Embiid, then we're talking about something else. But I mean, they don't got anybody to match up to the Joker. And the Joker doesn't even have to be a ball hog for them to win. That's what makes them so fucking dangerous. Like, he can have 6 points at halftime, 10 assists, and not even have to force any shots and just be a facilitator and, get, good dimes, get everyone involved. And then he can get his shit going in the second half. Like, how do you end up stopping a team like the Nuggets when you got someone like that? There's not very many players that are unselfish like the Joker, and there's a reason why he won a couple MVPs already, and he should have won it this year. But again, it's a regular season award. They gave it to Embiid, and what happened to Embiid? His points dropped off 10 points after he got the award, and it's the biggest drop-off from any MVP winner in a long, long time. And obviously, he started criticizing all the opponents, I got to get some more help besides me and Harden, me and James. Well, you guys didn't fucking show up in the fourth quarter either, so I lost a lot of respect for Embiid. He's not a leader. Obviously some people like him. He's the best center in the league, but he's not good enough to take a team to the championship and win it all based off him himself, in my opinion. So, all right, I got it on Fox now. And then as soon as we get the second period going, we'll go back there. John in the building. What's good? Hey, it could be worse. You could have been my Mariners today. 16-6. Hey, you lost 4-3 against a very good team in the Pirates this year. At least you didn't get fucking obliterated. How many people would be losing 16-6 and still wear the gear? There's most people would be like, nope, I ain't wearing that. I'm going to burn that. Nope. You just got to stay true. I don't like losing 16-6, but it is what it is. Yeah, you need them, and it shows you how important that those Hall of Famers were to the team. Bringing in Contreras didn't solve the problem. They thought it would, but it didn't. And it also shows you how much better Yadier Molina is and was compared to Contreras. And then also Albert Pujols, based off that run that he was having and bringing that hype and, trying to get those records, hit those home runs. There was a vibe in St. Louis last year, and it's just not the same. But again, there's a lot of teams that were good last year that aren't good this year. Cardinals, Blue Jays, Mariners. And then you have these other teams like the Rangers and Tampa Bay and the Orioles and the Pirates. It's fucking baseball, So hopefully things turn around, at some point after the All-Star break. But there is a true possibility that the Mariners, Blue Jays, and the Cardinals, we just don't make the playoffs this year. You just have to appreciate when you're good. And when you're not good, it makes you really realize how special you were. There we go, Dodgers. There we go. 5-3 Yankees, bottom of the 7th. CA in the building. How are you? What's good, man? Just enjoying the Stanley Cup, which I already knew it was going to be fantastic. And I was just hoping that we would get good energy, out of Florida, and we are. And like I said, they're not the Miami Heat. So anyone comparing Florida's story to the Miami Heat were the worst scoring team like in the regular season. And, Tyler Hero got injured. Oladipo got injured. Then they got hot at the right time. But then you just ended up getting Giannis. He got injured. He missed a bunch of free throws. You won in 5 games. That was surprising. Ended up being the Celtics with a shitty coach with Mazzulla. If they had Udoka, that wouldn't have happened. So you're able to overachieve, but you just don't have any big men other than Bam. And you don't have anyone to match up against the Joker. So you're fucked. And this could be the beginning of a dynasty for the Nuggets, honestly. They could be the baby Spurs. This could be the first of 2 or maybe even 3. Because honestly, they're always saying, oh, the Grizzlies, John Morant might get suspended for half the year or a year after the finals is over. They're going to give the suspension out. So you got them. You got the Suns with KD. You got all these teams, the Kings, Light the Beam. All these teams that were supposedly Lakers that were going to beat the Nuggets, and the Nuggets were just number 1 all year long, never got any pub, never got any love. Everyone was counting them out, and now they're just slapping the shit out of everybody. And the Joker is trying to get that first ring, and I don't think it'll be his last. I really think that when it's all said and done, him and Giannis are going to be going back and forth, and who knows, at the end of their careers, maybe Joker has more rings than Giannis when it's all said and done. It's possible. The Nuggets are built well. And a lot of times with these NBA teams, they fire their coaches too soon. And if you look at what they have with the Miami Heat and you look with Spoelstra and you look what they have with the Nuggets, you got to be able to give your guys some time. But it's what have you done for me lately type of league. And everyone's got the trigger figure to fire people really quick. Oh, double play? Safe at second. 5-3 Yankees. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. And we're just waiting for the second period to start up, and I'll flip it back. I just want to get the most out of my sport day today. Yeah, but the coach is not good. I've always kept it 100 with everyone, whether you people want to believe me or not. But, like I said, I just let my stats, I let, my reputation, and I let my predictions speak for themselves. But Mazzulla ain't it. And obviously you need to keep coaches around, but he ain't it. He don't got the it factor. I don't think the players respect him. I don't think that is a coach that can win the championship for you guys. You need somebody better. That's just my opinion. And I know Celtics fans feel the same way. There's no way that Udoka is coaching that team that they get into that type of scenario. They would have won that series in 6 games, maybe even 5 if Udoka was there. It wouldn't have gone 7. It shows you the difference between one year to the next. And it's not like the Celtics and the Sixers suck. Milwaukee, I feel, is the best, with Giannis. But again, if you get hurt or you start missing free throws, teams are going to take advantage. But again, the Nuggets might be like the new thing. This might be the first of 2, first of 3. And I don't think there's a lot of teams that could actually go back to back or go back to back to back. You know what I mean? But if I had to think of a couple, it would probably be like the Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks based off Giannis and the Joker, as those pieces. So. And even if the Celtics had Udoka and you guys made it against Denver, there's no guarantees that you would have been able to even beat this team. The way that they're playing, they're the only team in the NBA that is defensive first, rebounding first, It's unselfish basketball, just like, the Detroit Pistons and the Spurs. And when you get a team like that, and if the coach is actually good, the league is fucked because there's no other team that plays like that, where there's no egos from their superstar player. He doesn't care if he ends up getting, 8 points or 48 as long as they're winning. And, he's a triple-double machine. So we'll see where it goes. But definitely, this looks like the beginning of something special for Denver. I mean, they already got the Colorado Avalanche, right? They already got that, Stanley Cup championship last year. Now they got the Nuggets, this year. I don't know about the Denver Broncos with Russ and, obviously their new coach. We'll have to see on how that kind of flows together with Sean Payton. But things are definitely looking up in Colorado and in Denver. Yeah, you match up better than the Nuggets than the Heat, but but with that being said, if you couldn't even beat the fucking Heat, what makes you think that you could beat the Nuggets? I mean, like I said, Al Horford and Robert Williams, they might match up better because of their size, but they would still get fucked up. Like, let's be honest here. You can be a Celtic fan, but they're not on the same level as the Joker. The Joker is the best player in the world. The only way you're going to be able to compete with the best player in the world is if you have the second best player in the world on the opposite side. And if they play the same position and they guard each other and they cancel each other out. So then if you get Giannis and the Joker, canceling each other out, then it's the rest of the role players. Then it's going to be, okay, what are you going to get over here? What are you going to get with, Drew Holiday? What are you going to get over here with Jamal Murray? And then it comes down to the Michael Porter Jr.'s and the Aaron Gordons. Those guys help you win the championship. So, yeah. But again, Missoula is garbage. I'm just, like I said, I can look at a coach and I can look at body language and vibe. They gave up on him. And if you're going to give up on a coach like that, that not only doesn't look good for you and your legacy with Tatum and Brown, but it doesn't look good for the coach either moving forward. Do you see what I'm saying? For me, I've been watching sports since the 80s, and I've watched the Celtics when they had Larry Bird and when they had Robert Parrish, when they had Danny Ainge, when they had Kevin McHale. It was different. Or even the Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, like that squad was built different. You know what I mean? It's just not the same, and you got to be able to get that right coach. So, yeah. But again, I'm not biased, and a lot of people are. Like, you love your teams, you love your players, but when have I ever bullshitted anybody? When have I ever lied? When have I ever been biased? You know what I mean? I just speak what a lot of people I think are afraid to say, or the truth. I don't have anything to gain from it. You know what I mean? I just, if the team is good, the team is good. If the team is not good, they're not good. If they have flaws, this is what it is. It's not like I protect the Mariners or the Blazers or the Ducks or the Buccaneers. Like the Bucks are going to be one of the worst teams in football. They're trash. I'm not going to defend them, But the Celtics, he's not good, bro. I'm just telling you, if you got a better coach, the roster is good enough to win it all. Period. The roster is good enough to win it all. Right. But then now you got to decide if you keep Tatum and then Brown the following year, or if you get rid of one of them. And if you get rid of Brown, you're not going to get anybody better than him, and you're going to end up regretting it. And then the team goes from up here and they go down a couple spots, and other teams are going to catch up. So hopefully Boston is smart enough to re-sign both, even if they have to do a max 1 year and then the next. But those two guys are perfect together. They got to keep them together if they want to win it all. If they split up, the Tatum, Jaylen Brown combo, then you're going to have to kind of catch up with the rest of the East. That's just my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. But I think you guys are right there. You're better than the Sixers. You know what I mean? It's like Milwaukee, normally Boston, right? Sixers. And then you had this surprise Miami Heat run. So, and again, a lot of times with Cinderella stories, you run out of gas, or you play a team that's much better than you, either in the NFC Championship, AFC Championship, or the East Final, the West Final, or in the championship game. Not many Cinderella stories, end with a win. I would say 9 out of 10 that you end up losing in the round before the championship or the championship. That's why Cinderella stories are so special, because they never really work. Like we talk about them, we hope for them, but 9 times out of 10, it ends up usually being, the top dog, the best team ends up winning, not the hot team. Hot team usually runs out of gas, but this Florida Panther team, they might be the first. So, Yeah, and I think also Boston needs to learn how to play as a unit, as more team basketball. Too much one-on-one from Brown and Tatum. Sometimes Tatum is a ball hog, and sometimes he doesn't step up in the fourth quarter. You need to be better there. You know, for if you want to be recognized as one of the best in the world, you can't choke or be shitty in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. You know, you can't be Embiid and James Harden and get like say Harden getting 0 points in the fourth quarter in like multiple games. How the hell is that going to help you? You know, win anything when you can't even score? You know, and we already knew what Harden was, but he's a shell of himself. You know, so a lot of these teams, they grab guys based off name recognition, but their overall abilities have declined a lot. So, all right, we're on the top of the 8th, 5-3 Yankees, and I assume that we're not back to action just. And they're great players, you know what I'm saying? But again, you know, it also shows you something's missing, you know, also too, you know, that you guys probably, you know, you guys probably need like a point guard like Rondo. You know what I mean? I feel like with what you guys have like Horford who can shoot threes, and you got Williams down low. You know, you got Brown who can like, you know, create off the dribble. Tatum's the best player. But what's really missing is like an elite point guard to help kind of soften the cushion. And so there's not as much pressure on Tatum and Brown from game in and game out. Like if you could end up getting a point guard like a Rondo that could score, you know, 10 to 30 points, you know, and also give you 10 to 15 assists, like how much of a difference Boston would be if they could have that. Like if Rondo was in his prime right now on Boston, think about how much better the team would be compared to what you have right now. That's just like, you know, my little evaluation looking at that roster. And I hope Boston ends up winning a championship at one point. I mean, I do like their team, but I mean, like I said, Mazzulla, he definitely was not a good coach in the playoffs. He had very questionable substitutions, and you could tell the players don't respect him. And if the players don't respect you and they're just going to give up on you, I mean, how the hell do you get down 0-3? You know what I'm saying? Like if we're talking about what the Celtics did the year before, like there's no way in hell that team from the year before would have let that happen. So too bad Udoka couldn't be faithful, huh? And he had to do that. Because I think that Udoka was good enough to win a championship for you guys. I don't think he's like the best coach in the NBA, but I think at the time he was like top 10. You know, he was definitely underrated. And now you go from that to a coach that they don't even believe in. You know, a coach that they're trying to get fired. But in the process of that, you look bad yourself. It doesn't look good for your legacy when you're just giving up on your coach, but then you're giving up on your city, your team, you know, the organization, the fans. You know, 3-0, come on, man. They're way too good for that. All right, 5-3 Yankees. Let's go back to TNT, and I think we're going to be getting started here in just a moment. And we're going to get going into the second period. We're knotted up at 1. Good matchup so far.
And now she's got my plan. The game-changing new plan that lets you pick exactly what she wants and save on every perk. Sadie's getting her plan ready for a big trip. Travel pass on. Nice iPhone 14 Pro. Cute couple. Trips don't last forever. Neither does summer love. So Sadie's moving on. Apple Music? Check. Introducing my plan. The first and only unlimited plan to give you exactly what you want, so you only pay for what you need. And get iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch. It's your Verizon.
With an Invisalign smile, everything clicks. And that class reunion.
I'm going to take a quick peek to look at the MLB scores here real quick.
This is the #1 doctor recommended clear aligner and more predictable results. Invisalign.
Mr. Sen is into nature. Professor Cott's into science.
All right, let's go MLB. Where are you? There it is. Let's go over some of the scores today. There's not a whole lot of sports going on. NBA Finals Game 2 is tomorrow. NASCAR is tomorrow. So, I mean, not a whole lot going on besides this and obviously some baseball action. All right, so we got Guardians 3, Twins 2 in the middle of the 8th. Yankees 5, Dodgers 3 in the top of the 8th. And then coming up, we have Orioles and Giants. Orioles have been a fucking great surprise this year. You know, like I said, it's one of those things you never know who's going to end up stepping up and, you know, showing how good they are. and Baltimore has been good. Braves and Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have been surprisingly fantastic. 35 and 23. A lot of people thought the Padres would be up there, but just like the Cardinals, Padres, Blue Jays, Mariners, we're all ass. Cubs and Padres at 7-10 on FS1. I'll be peeping that. And then final score, Red Sox 8, Rays 5. The Rays are 40 and 19. Unbelievable. White Sox 2, Tigers 1, final and 10. Phillies 4, Nats 2. Best game of the Saturday. Rangers 16, Mariners 6. We only lost by 10 runs. Is that good? Pirates 4, Cardinals 3, and a heartbreaker for Cardinal fans like John and Sarah. Astros 9, Angels 6. Rockies 6, Royals 4. Brew Crew 10, Reds 8. Marlins 12, A's 1. Blue Jays 2, Mets 1. And then Rays 4, Red Sox 2. All right, second period is underway. Yeah, that's what makes sports good. You know what I mean? Like everyone thinks like, when we talk about the NFL, just because you were good last year doesn't mean you're going to be good this year. And we always get surprised from worst to first, or if you're third in the division and you get to first or second. It happens every year. Like, sometimes it's a year early. Oh my God. How did that not score? Holy shit. The net was open and that puck was like 3 feet above the net. And somehow, some way that didn't go in. Wow. That was crazy. Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of the rookie cards, and a lot of the cards are going for good money already for Andrew Jones's son. But I kind of like it seeing teams that normally suck end up being good. Diamondbacks, Orioles, Rangers. Tampa Bay usually is pretty good, and they started off like 13, 14, 15 and 0. So look at here. Oh my God. Oh, look at that save by Aiden Hill. My God. Look at him reach back with his stick. This is a goal 9 times out of 10. Why didn't you go top shelf? Oh, top shelf would have been a goal. Oh, Aiden Hill, you the man. What a fucking save. He leans back with that stick. He's like, I'm going to give it all I got. What a save. That was one of the best saves I've seen in the entire playoffs. That was incredible. And a lot of times they just need to go top shelf. You can't just go for that easy, kind of putt like in golf. Sometimes you got to, get a little bit more aggressive with it and go for the top shelf in the corner, top left or top right. We'll see if they learn as the game goes on. 1-1, Florida and Vegas. Good energy in the Stanley Cup game number 1. Right, and Padres will figure it out. Obviously having Tatis out for so long, but again, a lot of the teams pitching is struggling, for a lot of the good teams from last year, or it's just the bats are not alive. Saved by Aiden Hill. I mean, the standings in baseball are fucking nuts, dude. Rays 41 and 19, 15 and 13 on the road, but check this out, 26 and 6 at home. Get the fuck out of here. 41 and 19. Orioles 36 and 21. That's crazy, right? Rangers 37 and 20. What? Right? Braves are good, right? But we already knew they were going to be good. Brewers 31 and 27. Pirates 30 and 27. And then the Diamondbacks are now in first place. They're tied with the Dodgers at 35 and 23. That's just nuts. But it's always cool to see. I mean, for me, I'm not a hater towards other teams. I actually root, for the shitty teams to be good. Like I always root typically for like the Jags before they made the playoffs last year with Trevor. But I like rooting for the Lions. I really like their program. I did used to root for the Jets, but Rodgers is there now, so I won't root for them anymore. You know what I mean? If they want to be able to think that they're going to go to the Super Bowl, just cue in Brett Favre and what happened when he went there. Same type of, overblown hype, for a guy that's a Hall of Fame quarterback that just can't get it done late in his career. So Megan in the building. How are you? Hello, Ollie. Hello, Ollie. What a good Stanley Cup. First period, 1-1. Florida not acting like they're afraid, which is great to see. Because the worst part of watching, a Stanley Cup final, NBA finals, is when one team is so much better than the other, where you already know what's going to happen. I mean, it's nice to be able to be surprised or have that other team be a Cinderella story and be really good, but it just, most of the time, it just doesn't work out like that. And I feel with baseball this year, it could be the same, Dodgers, Braves, and then Yankees, Astros is kind of like the top dogs, and there'll be these other teams that'll fill in. But there is a possibility that in the World Series this year that we have a newbie. Like we have like a regular powerhouse team like the Braves and like a newbie, Braves versus Tampa Bay, or something of that nature, That's exciting, to think of that possibility. Oh, Vegas with a power play. Oh, yeah. I know, a lot of people get on him with the PEDs and the cheating and whatnot, but I like him, more than Soto. I like Manny Machado the best on the team. That I feel that's the best player overall because he's, amazing with defense at third. Him and Nolan Arenado are the best third baseman in the league by a billion. And the defense is just ridiculous. They make plays every game where I'm like, wow, they make it look so easy. And they're great hitters too on top of that. Not that Juan Soto's garbage or anything, but obviously if I had to go down the pecking order, I would go Machado, Tatis, and then Juan Soto is expendable. You brought him in and he's a name, but he hasn't really lived up to his name, I think, there, at least not yet. But if they end up winning a World Series one day, then obviously all will be forgiven, right? Oh, no worries, man. I hope he gets better. All right, Vegas power play. $16 minutes left in the second period. Minute 20 remaining in the power play. And then that might be a big factor too, is like, whoever gets the most power plays and takes advantage of those with good shots on goal, that could really help a team like Florida, get that extra advantage. But both goalies are playing fantastic. It's not like, in the Dallas series where you're seeing Ottinger give up fucking 3 goals in the first period and then the whole vibe is dead and then the game is already over. It's nice to see that both goalies are fire. Both goalies are confident. And you got a lot of goal scorers out there, so the pressure is going to be on. It's not like, you have shitty guys out there like with Carolina where there's only like a guy or two that can actually score. Like each team has got 4 or 5 guys that can get it done. So great to see. And this is my favorite player that's left between these two teams. I love goalies, Kraken fan, love Gru, and really love what Sergei has been able to do. And even though Aiden Hill may not be as good as Anderson, for Carolina, Frederick, you can't sleep on him. Like I said, he's got a big frame, and maybe Vegas helps him out because he doesn't have to have as many shots on goal because they're so good on fucking offense. But there has been some amazing saves that we've seen, like today with Aiden Hill with the stick, where he had to reach all the way out. So I feel that Aiden might be more like underrated, even though Sergei is better, but you can't sleep on him. It's not like they have a shitty goaltender for either team. And that's a good thing. $14:40 left in the second period. And hopefully we can get some support. Where are we? Almost 2 hours in. So hopefully that'll happen for us. That would be ideal. It's been pretty rough last few days. And they got 4 seconds left on the power play. All right, 14:35 left in the second period. I was going to try to go through the stats, but every time I do ESPN, the fucking ad comes up and they start blaring, whatever it is. It's like, dude, I don't need a fucking ad at like volume 100. All I want to do is look at the fucking stats. All right, so we got 12 shots on goal for Vegas, 11 for Florida, 16 hits for Florida, Vegas with 13, and faceoffs 1. That's the big disparity. Vegas with 20, Florida 9. Nice save by Bobrovsky. Nice job, Sergey, my boy.
Whistle to whistle. Kachuk made a beeline. Watch this roll here. Stone's going to get it, and now there's Kachuk. Skates by the official, gives him a bump, and then cross-checks him. Chucks me right in the back right after.
All right, power play is over. 14:25 left in the second period. Power play tonight for Vegas, 1 for 3, 6 shots, but nothing really ideal yet as of late in the second period. Oh, big hit. Nice save. He even tried to shoot that while he was on the ground. He's like, fuck it, you want to check me? I'll still try to attempt a shot while I'm on my side or my back. And, Florida is so well coached at this point because, like I said, if they came in passive or just, not aggressive, they would easily lose the first 2 games, obviously in Vegas. So they have to be the aggressive team for them to even have a chance to win both games or at least 1 out of 2. And I like their chances so far. Eichel. Oh, big hit on Eichel. Man, they are smashing the shit out of Vegas on the boards. For real. Oh.
Panthers tied at 1. It remains that way in this incredible save made by Aiden Hill. Nick Cousins.
Oh, here comes the ad they want to slam on me or whatever, the highlight package.
You guys ready for the check?
I got it. I get cash back with every purchase. Discover's got first-year cash back match. We have some face off.
Still knotted up at 1, 14 left. What's going on with the Yankees? 5-3, bottom of the 8th.
Wake up, achievers. You're making the most of every hour of your
And we definitely need to see Kachuk and Verhaeghe to get going here too.
So why do we leave so much untapped potential on the table? This is the next level bet or next level you.
My circadian rhythm is kicking the circadian rhythm.
It's not a competition.
I know. But I'm still winning.
So it is a competition. Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Only at Sleep Number.
The Whirlpool Smart Range automatically updates itself with features like air frying. So you can worry less about keeping up with the latest tech and care more about keeping up with the latest trends. Say cheese. Everyday care, Whirlpool. At Jameson, we like to do things differently. A smooth, triple distilled Irish whiskey, ground with a twist of orange flavor. Now that's just showing off. Meet Jameson Orange.
Mark Stone on the road, 8 games, 0 goals, 2 assists, 2 points. At home, 9 games. A whole nother story. They are so fucking aggressive out there.
Another face-off win. They've got 16 of the last 19 face-offs. 22 of 32 in this game.
And I like it how they've been chippy and like trying to punch each other in the face early on too. You don't want to have this Vegas bully you, when you're there. So I kind of knew that Florida was going to come out a little edgy and a little bit more aggressive, and they've been the more aggressive team, and that's why we're at 1-1 right now. Nice save. No, definitely was surprised by Stahl getting the first goal. Like, you could go the whole Stanley Cup Finals and not having him even score one. So for him to get the first one was pretty wild. 12:07 left in the second period. Is that going to be icing?
And a few different coaches along the way, Kenny. A team that's been very successful since they arrived upon the scene. Bruce Cassidy, the new head coach this year, doing an outstanding job behind the bench. He took the Bruins to Game 7 of the Cup Final back in 2019. One of the starting players, the Franco and Partnership Ryan St. Louis squad, that defeated Boston
5-3 Yankees, nice. Is that icing again? Nope. All right, see if Vegas has something cooking here. Yeah, well, good for the Yankees. They can't lose that game with Garrett Cole 6-0. Going against Grove, who I think was 0-1, even though Grove had like 7 Ks before he got pulled. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Backhand, one little stick handle, and then tries to go short side. That's a soft pass there by Anthony Duclair. Duclair's starting to hop a little more here in period number 2. Looks like he has settled into this game. Markov, of course, is sentiment. But a complete player, outstanding at both ends of the ice, in all situations. Next, Duclair, Jones, he missed the first 3 quarters of the season.
10:45 left in the second period. Nice save.
That was a great play by Maskey to Chuck to catch that puck while he's falling. See, that's a pretty good athletic moves here tonight. The play by Stone from his knees, and then the Chuck right here in the neutral zone. Trying to allow Florida to advance that puck. That puck came from Sergei Bobrovsky, who shot that puck about 100 feet in the air. It seemed like it had as much height on it. It just was almost bringing rain. Almost hit the arena. Steps up to keep the puck alive. It's by Cousins.
10:20 left in the second period. All right, 15 shots on goal for Vegas, 13 for Florida. Oh, nice save by Aiden Hill. Florida 21 hits to Vegas's 15. And the faceoffs one is just ridiculous. Vegas 26, Florida 10. but the game is 1-1, so it shows you how good the goaltending has been. All right, we're still knotted up at 1. Appreciate you. $8 dono. Appreciate you. Got to get it started at some point. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $8 holla. No problem. How was that? How was the ladies' day at rugby in Australia? How was that treating you? Let me know what you want to see for photos, and I got you. Appreciate you. Yeah, we always try to hope to get something early on, and but again, regardless of when it comes, it's better to be able to have that kind of support than no support. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. 92 to go to hit the first goal, and we'll see if we can get to that. 92 to go. And then let me know what you want to see for photos. If you want Pete or if you want Hack, a little Jay-Z, you let me know. I got you.
Let me be direct. You're doing TV wrong. You thought that other TV provider was good enough. Now what? You'll talk? You call this watching sports, do you? You deserve better. So much in life is a compromise. But with #1 customer satisfaction, DirecTV never is. Now, get out of here. Guarantee your low price for 2 years. Call 1-800-DirecTV to get a $200 reward card.
Oh, and Darren Pang and Bruce Cassidy. Wow, 83-84. The 67s. Holy shit. The Canadian Hockey League, CHL.
Your young goaltender in this experience, he seems to be coming on here. He makes a good save later. Yeah, I mean, he's a good goaltender with a good switch to put him in, so we need it. Bruce Cassidy referring to Aiden Hill, was acquired back in late August from San Jose.
Appreciate you, Meg, so much. All right, 9:30 left in the second period. We're still knotted up at 1. Oh, another hit into the boards. Florida is so physical out there, which they need to be. They can't get pushed around, especially if you're the road team and you're a little brother. You got to be able to punch a big brother in the face and show who's dominant. Oh, wow. 2-1 Vegas. That was from deep, too. I was like, okay. When he shot it. Okay, 2-1. They're flexing. All right, Shay. I got a good one to Shay. Nice job. Shea Theodore goal with a wrister. Brady McNabb and Brett Howden with the assist. 2-1 Vegas. Sure, I got you. Nice save by Sergey.
Same idea there with the point shot, but the traffic's not in front. Bobrovsky's able to handle that easily, but still, Vegas wants to continue with that theme. That low to high, Jonesy. They've worked that play probably at least 7 or 8 times here in that second period. And the guys without the puck have to understand is that once it goes from low to high, you got to be on your way, hanging around the front of the net. Because right now, talking about the numbers, face-off wise, they're dominating right now. I mean, Vegas, they've gotten to their game here. Now it seems like, we'll see all the lines, but the majority of the forward lines are kind of on their rhythm, and they're in sync offensively.
All right, 2-1 Vegas. That was a deep, deep shot too. Now the vibe has improved. Now the fans are a little bit more into it. I mean, when they got down 1-0, they got a little shocked, but they're not going to just stop cheering. I mean, obviously, these guys have been turning up obviously since this morning. And Vegas has scored the last 2, so momentum is on their side at home. Nice goal by Shea Theodore. 7:45 left in the second period. 2-1 Vegas. See if Florida can respond back with a goal to get it to 2-2. All right, out of play.
Let's check in with Jackie Redmond.
Well, guys, no surprise. Both goals for the Vegas Golden Knights coming from 2 members of what I'm calling the original 6 misfits that remain on this roster. Jonathan Marchessault with his 10 ties. William Karlsson, also an original misfit with 10 goals for the team lead. And then, of course, Shea Theodore.
Appreciate the support in the dono.
Jonathan Marchessault the other day.
Couple photos of our guy, Hack. 7:10 left in the second period. Can't wait for next year. Did you end up getting your jersey yet, or is it still at the post office? Renee in the building. What's good? All right, 18 shots on goal for Vegas, 16 for Florida. Big hits, Florida with 24, Vegas with 17. Face-offs won, 28 for Vegas, 13 for Florida, and they're starting to get chippy again. Penalty minutes, Florida 6, Vegas 2. Oh, look at that beard. 10 out of 10 for that beard. Still at the post office. 6-3 Yankees. Did they win yet? So Dodgers won last night, Yankees today, and then they play tomorrow. And it should be right down to the wire. Now Florida's got to win some faceoffs if they want to get back into this. Shots on goal and the faceoffs won are now in Vegas's favor, and the only thing that Florida's got going for them is the aggressive hits, on defense. They need that momentum back. See if they can tie it up 2-2 as we go into the third period. Here we go. Oh, stolen. Nice save by Aiden Hill. All right, going to commercial break. 2-1 Vegas with 6:13 left. All right, I'm going to click over to the Yankees and Dodgers. Is it over? I'm going to click over just to see. Oh, it's at bottom of the ninth with one out. 6-3. Miguel Rojas. Chop foul. See if I can get you another hack here before the commercial comes back. Oh my God. Jesus. ESPN is terrible. It's like, can't I just look at a stat page without being bombarded by a bunch of bullshit? Or like the videos that try to like autoplay. I didn't click on that fucking thing. I didn't have the volume on. I don't need to hear that shit like volume 1,000. Like, you know, especially if I'm, you know, doing a stream or I'm doing something else. Stupid. And then I got to close it out and I got to open it back up. Come on, ESPN, get your shit together. There's a reason why no one watches your fucking network unless there's a game on. I'll even squeeze one more in for you. A little past and a little present. I can't tell you how annoying that is, though. Any broadcast that I do, they always have those like automatic videos of like the highlights that like pop up. You even turn the volume off and it still comes up like full blast. Like they don't even care. They're like, oh, you put the volume at 0? Well, let's turn it up to 11. 5:20 left in the second period. 2-1 Vegas. Florida power play. All right, this would be a good opportunity right now for them to be able to catch up and hopefully tie it up 2-2 as we go to the third period. Perfect timing for this power play. Come on, Panthers. We want this to be competitive. Yeah, I hope we don't get any blowouts in the series. I mean, there's a high probability there'll be at least one. But I hope that all the matchups end up being within a goal or two. I don't want to see any like 6-3 or 7-3 type of games. I hope it ends up being, you know, at the very worst, like 5-3, you know, something like that. But it'd be great to be able to have a bunch of 4-3 games or 3-2 games or 6-5 games. That's what I'm looking for. But again, the goalies are so good. I just don't know how many goals are going to be scored. I mean, the offensive players are there to do it, but the goalies are so good. And obviously, whatever goalie ends up playing better and more consistently gives that team a hell of a lot better of a chance. But we don't got any Ottingers in the Stanley Cup, so we don't have to worry about anyone just clearly fucking up like multiple games in a final. You can't give up 3 goals in the first period twice and think that you're going to end up winning the series. That's facts. And I still like Ottinger. I don't think he's terrible, but he just started to kind of go downhill. But that's not necessarily just him. It's just how good Vegas is and was. You got to give the other, team credit, not just, harping, just try to ridicule one particular player. Why did he get to that point? Because Vegas is so fucking good. That's why. So many options. Oh! All right, 15 seconds left in the power play. Haven't really got a good shot yet. Oh! Nice save by Aiden Hill.
face-off shorthanded. They're going to be able to win the draw back into this area. There's going to be help, and then there's going to be a block. And then there's going to be a seal, and then there's going to be a seal, and what ends up happening, they're going to get the puck out. Watch how this works. Face-off win, help, protect.
And again, I don't think people realize like how big Aiden Hill is, with his frame, 6'4", and then all their defensemen are 6'2" to 6'6". There's a reason why Vegas is number one, and that's just talking about the goalie and their defenders. We're not even talking about their offensive skilled guys like Marcia Salt or Carlson or Captain Jack Eichel. Oh, chippy. I love it. They're throwing punches every 5 minutes. Definitely a good game. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's been very rough for the last 5-ish days. So anything that we can get, obviously, for people to show some love and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, we definitely need to get better representation from the mods as a group. It has not been good. And hopefully, we can get more support. But I'll tell you who does support. Megan does, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. $3 holla, bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, $3 holla. Yeah, you definitely can tell the people that appreciate and the people that take you for granted. Let me know what you want to see. And once we get to intermission, I'll throw up some more photos for you. It could be Kraken. It could be Seahawks. Whatever you want. You let me know. Another Vegas player hitting the ice. God, Florida is just bullying the shit out of them, but they just need to be able to get a good shot on goal to get it close. But at least it's not 2-0 or 3-0. I mean, it's very competitive. Oh, what a save. Nice save by Sergey. $11. Let's get to a hundo. 89 to go. Yes, thank you so much. Eyes on the prize. Go, baby, go. Oh! Ooh, that was close. Vegas right back on the offensive. Stolen by Florida. Come on, baby. 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can get at least one good shot on goal here for Florida. Icing. There you go, which we assume they would. You can't have Garrett Cole lose to a Grove. One pitcher is 6-0, the other is 0-1. Oh my God! On the crossbar again. That's two shots now on the crossbar. One on the left and one on the right. Oh man, inches from being 3-2. And we definitely need to see Verhaeghe wake up. Same thing with Matthew Tkachuk. Stahl did his job. He doesn't need to do anything really for the rest of the game. So, Sam Bennett, wake up. Hello. Carter Verhaeghe, wake up. And definitely Matthew Tkachuk has got to be the guy. He's usually saves his best for the last, though. He's, to win the game, overtime. Usually when you see Tkachuk, he's doing the magic at the end to help them tie or win. Sometimes he'll sprinkle him in the first and the second as well, but he's very good late. Minute 50 left in the second period. I want to look at the stats, but I don't want to get bombarded by a bunch of bullshit. All right, I got to read it off real quick before I hear something go blasting in my ear. All right, 20 shots on goal for Vegas, 18 for Florida. Big hits, Florida with 25, Vegas with 21. Face-offs won, Vegas with 28, Florida with 20. And then penalty minutes, 6 for Florida, 4 for Vegas. Nice save there by Sergey Bobrovsky. Let's go. And then Eric Stahl with a shorthanded goal for the first goal for Florida. Jonathan Marchessault with the power play goal in the first period, 1-1. And then Shea Theodore with a goal at 10:54 in the second period, assisted by Braden McNabb and Brett Howden. 2-1 Vegas is where we sit right now. Nice save, Aiden Hill. Oh, shit. He got checked, his head right into the boards. He might have a concussion or something. That didn't feel good. Wow. Well, that was dirty, man. Now they're fighting. Yeah, that was a little dirty. I mean, like I said, it slammed his head right into the board. Now they're fighting. How many guys are going to fight? One guy, two guys. Like, what's going on here? Got one guy trying to bite the other guy's ear off like fucking Mike Tyson and Vander Holyfield. I mean, you even have gotten the goalies. Well, not necessarily. Sergey hasn't thrown any punches, but Aiden Hill already has, and that was in the first period. Oh! He's like, you motherfucker. Little cheap shot. That was cheap, dude. Why has Vegas got to be cheap like that? You know what I mean? That makes me not want to root for you when you're, I get it. There, guys are talking shit and guys are being chirpy, but like when the play is dead and then all of a sudden you got to do a cheap shot. I mean, come on, bro. That's not needed. And obviously when people get cheap like that, normally that means that, they're intimidated by the other team and, they can't win clean. They have to win by being dirty, because they are intimidated and they know that the opponent is good and they have problems with this opponent. This is not going to be an easy Stanley Cup to win. Come on, Vegas, be better. That's like the Dallas Stars fans when we went to OT and they started throwing beer on the ice and then they threw popcorn and beer on top of Aiden Hill and another player. I mean, like, be better, man. It's like sometimes it only takes a couple, fans to just ruin it, for everybody else. But I see what the Stars are doing. That kind of reminds me of Cowboy fans, acting that same kind of way. And Vegas doesn't need to be dirty to win, You don't want to have a reputation for starting to be a dirty team. You can't win clean, so you got to win dirty against the hot team that's been pushing you around, And it's like you can get your payback, with a good, check, or a good, slam into the boards, on legal ice time, not when the play is already dead and, guys are relaxed and they don't even, think a hit is coming. And then all of a sudden you try to cheap shot them. Motherfuckers. Saved by Aiden Hill. 12 seconds to go. And they're both pretty fucking even, right? Aiden Hill, 20 shots attempted on him, and he was only giving up one goal. And then Bobrovsky, 21 and 2. So, both of these goalies are very, very good. Good game so far. Again, regardless if you love hockey or if it's just something that you have in the background, it's, let's go! You ask and you shall receive. All you got to do is just stay vigilant. You just got to stay with it, right? They're going to do something cheap and dirty. Bang! Right there, Florida. Look at this, right off the face-off. Woo! Let's go! And that's why Florida has a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Feisty. Look at that. Right past Aiden Hill. That was beautiful. How often have we seen off a face-off, right? And then it comes loose, bang, for a shot. Like, never. Wow, that was huge. Way to tie the game, and I had a feeling that they would. The sports gods love your boy. It's like, all you got to do is just say it, and then it'll happen. All right, I didn't know it was that easy. All right. Right at the end, too. Momentum now all in Florida's favor. Wow. Look at that. That's a little karma right there for you. You know, you want to be a bitch and you want to hit us late, you know, we'll fucking get you back. And they did. Awesome. Karma is fucking real, man. That's why you don't be doing that dirty bullshit. Anthony Duclair with a wrist shot. Alexander Barkov with the assist.
What's one word you think of when you think of the Stanley Cup? Intensity, grind, barrier, with history. Rescue, or Lemieux. Legacy. Your name's kept on there.
Oh, there's the ESPN trying to do the bullshit. Not happening.
See, we have this bad boy in it. I got a charade to play. See, us getting wins. The best nights start with the air. Even 56 botanicals always serve that as cold. Few the moments in anticipation. Celebration. What? Master moment.
Not all grills are created equal. For starters, Napoleon's ignition system uses jet engine technology. Our precision burners cook evenly, no matter what Mother Nature throws at you. And our sizzle zone is like grilling on the sun. Put it all together and see why with Napoleon grills, built different means built better.
Joe. You should be dead. But you survived. You fought your way back. Why?
I had to take this. He told me to find the reason I fought my way back. Let's find out.
If you take Vegas, I'll go Florida.
Arriving soon, only on Netflix.
I like underdog stories when I actually think that they might be able to pull it off. Nice job. All right, see what we got. Anything else going on? I think what else? We have one baseball game, major one. Is it the Cubs on FS1? So I think I'll click over to that. And then once we Cubs and Pirates at 7:10. So just about to start on FS1. So I'll click over to that while we're just, waiting for the talking to get over with. And then we'll get into the third period and see if Florida can actually pull off the miracle and punch them in the mouth and win game one on the road. And obviously it's going to be very critical for Florida to win one or the first two games on the road. And if they're able to do that, they can stretch this series out and maybe do the unthinkable. All right, I got Cubs and Padres on FS1 here for just a couple minutes until we get back to live action. And let me know what you want to see for photos there. And I got you if there's anything else that you want to be able to see.
It's a defense behind him for San Diego. Tatis Jr. is +4 outs above average out in right field.
Hi, Paisley. All right, Dad. Hi.
In 2 years, Austin Nola won't be catching Yu Darvish. Gary Sanchez, in his 5th start since coming over from AAA and the Mets organization, will catch Darvish and his, let's say, wide menu of pitches, Dontrell. Very wide. You'll see the slider, the cutter, the sinker, the splitter. I think sometimes he gets confused on what he wants to throw because the repertoire is so vast. But strike one is important for him. And also mound presence. When he struggles, especially on the road, it's a lot of hitter-friendly counts. 2-1, 2-0. If he gets ahead, oftentimes he's better. See how much the Cubs are attacking early. This is generally not much of a first pitch swinging team. And generally, It's one of the top 5, top 6 take teams in all of baseball anyway. First pitch, we are underway. It's ball 1 inside to Master Boney. We're so glad to have you along for baseball tonight here on FS1.
All right, top of the first. Oh, we got Yu Darvish pitching. I wonder if Elliott is watching. I imagine he is.
1-0 is high. Then you said it right off the bat, Tantrell. It's a 2-0 count to the leadoff man, Master Boney.
Master Boney versus Yu Darvish, top of the first. And then we'll have a few minutes while we're watching this, and then we'll get into that third period.
Another breaking ball and another pitch above the zone. It's 3-0 to Master Boney from Yu Darvish, the former Cub, who now has faced his ex-team 4 times with San Diego. Rio is in 3-1.
Has yet to throw a 4-seam fastball, and that's
She got a favorite player on the team right now, or is she more old school with like Sandberg and Mark Grace and Andre Dawson, like that era? Or even with the Chris Bryant Rizzo era? Oh, one away. Marissa in the building. What's good? Nice matchup so far. Very physical. And, even though Vegas is the best team, Florida is the hottest team, and it shows you they're not the fucking Miami Heat. They're not going to just roll over and die. I mean, if you can beat the team that probably should have won the Stanley Cup this year, or at least got to this point against Vegas with Boston, and then you beat the shit out of Toronto and Carolina, this is not going to be easy. And this is the toughest opponent they played since Boston. And it could go 6 or 7. But again, winning the first 2 games, or at least splitting, is key for Florida. And if you're Vegas, you have to win these games at home. If you don't, you run a risk of losing the Stanley Cup, because we already know what Florida can do, as the series goes on when they're up 2-0, especially when they win the first 2 on the road, if that happens. They were down 3-1 to Boston. They came back. They won the first games in Toronto 2-0. They won the first games in Carolina 2-0, and then it was already over at that point. So, but even if Florida goes up 2-0 in the series, it won't be over. We already know Vegas can win on the road. Chris Bryant was a favorite player. Oh, nice. And then we haven't really seen Captain Jack Eichel do a whole lot, or Matthew Tkachuk, and we usually would get the best from them in the third period.
That's going to be a tough pitch for Nico to handle. Nico's one of my favorite players on the Cup staff. Love this game.
2-2 for a Horner straight foul. This is season number 5 for Nico Horner. He played 135
Okay.
games last year. What do you like most about it?
Quality at bats every single time. Doesn't give a bats away. Athletic and outstanding in situational hitting.
Darvish pitches low and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
As well, he's got 14 already after 20 last year. Three and 2 for Horner.
Darvish has got a very interesting delivery. He kind of hesitates when he brings his legs up before he ends up pitching.
They started strong, as you mentioned, but they fell on hard times early in the month of May, and they've been dealing with the injury to Justin Steele that just came about. He was placed on the IL before the game today.
Hi, Paisley. Come in here and hang out with Dad. She loves Dad.
3 and 2.
Oh, nice hit.
Second base and Kim one more time.
Kim, 2 away.
David Ross, the skipper
Your favorite.
of the
You love the bozo.
And you look, the last couple of years, they've had the deadline.
David Ross.
And some of the players have talked about how they
4th season as Cubs manager.
again, they would rather put the team in position where they have to make a decision to go by.
Now Paisley's laying on my legs. She's like, I miss you, Dad.
Deadline. So if the front office believes in you, you're on that right, then the Cubs will definitely have.
Yeah, but I'll probably have a chance to ice my shin splints, from walking. And I didn't really think I'd be able to get it, honestly. I, had it like maybe when I was in high school. But again, if I am walking like an hour or 2 a day with the dog, with the puppy, eventually that's going to probably be something. So, and it does feel a little bit better since I've iced it a few times already. But again, if I'm going to be doing an hour or two every day, I got to give it a little bit of a break. So
Got to get him going. He's the key in the offense.
Yeah, just 4 for the year for Ian.
yeah, I love Machado. I don't know if I would say I love Tatis because he cheated. You know what I mean? Anytime you cheat on something, you're definitely going to go lower in my totem pole, because you couldn't do it regularly. You had to cheat to get to a certain, level. And a lot of these guys that cheat have no really, reason to cheat. You don't need to cheat. Oh, wow. He's bleeding out of his nose. Holy shit.
Must be allergy season. Hope he's okay. My man X.
Wow. Xander Bogaerts is bleeding out of his nose like a motherfucker.
That's not ideal.
That's a lot of blood coming out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Bluey. You're watching the Bluey.
In the middle of the game,
It's a 2-2. They got a goal right at the very, very end. So it's knotted up.
Not be stressed out about it.
baseball's the one sport where you're not likely going to get contact with somebody else. If this is a basketball game, they've stopped play minutes ago. 1-2 to second. It's Hassan Kim all day in the first inning.
Just waiting for the intermission to end. So 2-2, and we'll see what happens here in the third period. You guys are watching the Bluey? Is this what you and Ollie are watching in Australia? Are you getting down on the Blue?
Shelves that know what taste buds want. Shelves smart enough to see. Sense. React. Restock. So caramel swirl is always there for the taking.
All the Bluey.
Mom, can we go inside and get ice cream and see where we live? What about the zip lines? We gotta ride.
Bluey in an argument.
Animals. They have animals, Mom.
Bluey hanging out with friends.
Junior, I promise.
Bluey at the beach.
Oh, woohoo! Best day ever.
OTR Premium Cocktails.
Anything else that you want to be able to see for your $3 donor? You got anything else that photo-wise that you want? Let me know.
You're already making the tacos. Why make the margaritas too? That's cocktailing for a whole OTR.
Anthony Duclair.
Arby's showed us a great weight when crafting its deluxe.
I mean, who would have thought that the two goals
Great weight
would be Eric Stahl and Anthony Duclair? Like nobody. Like I don't care who you ask. There's no. I mean, those two aren't even in the top like 5 or 6 options. But that shows you how crazy Florida is.
Brought to you by Edward Jones for the San Diego Padres, who are 29th in average, 14th in all runs in Major League Baseball. Bogarts at the top of the lineup. Juan Soto, still very dangerous.
Sarah's favorite, Juan Bozo. Xander Bogaerts, Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Juan Bozo, Manny Machado, Gary Sanchez, Jake Cronenworth, and others.
They will face the left-hander Drew Smiley. And Bogarts in that leadoff spot. His first year here with San Diego. And Smiley, not real interesting guy, reverse splits all over the place.
Yeah, he's somebody that likes to use his breaking ball to slow guys down, but he doesn't have enough velocity to
Goats, where are you?
those strikes, especially to the right-handed batter, having that fastball in, it sets the cutter up, and then that big, slow breaking ball is why he's having a good year thus far.
Take out his 2 starts against Cincinnati. He's got an ERA that's right around 2 for the year. The Reds have done pretty well. Generally, nobody else has.
Yeah, some teams just have your number and have to match up down and understand how you're going to attack, especially a division rival like the Cincinnati Reds.
Big swing and a miss. Bogarts struck out.
Strike 3 on a high fastball. We're out number 1.
One away in the bottom of the first. Let's go back to the Stanley Cup coverage. Commercial.
Cheesy mushroom flatbread and an ice cold Coke. That's my recipe for magic.
Hard, I didn't even look at it. I just asked for a new baseball.
Oh, Tatis.
Turn and look. Oh man, the balls close in fast there, don't they?
It's a nice ballpark. It's a beautiful ballpark, though, nevertheless. But I think my high school dimensions were bigger than Great American Ballpark. But
I love it. Hitters love it. 20 minutes for sure. Is a 1-0 to Tatis. Is called a strike, 1-1. There's that curveball from Smiley. Lovely Petco Park. Somehow, nearly 20 years already in existence. Opened in 2004. Doesn't it seem like it was more recent than that?
I mean, I've given up home runs there too. It was a beautiful ballpark, great fans, great atmosphere inside the ballpark as well as outside. So the gas lamp is always jumping, especially how
It's always good to be able to have that bond.
There's a breaking ball in the dirt. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Smiley against right-handed batters for San Diego.
It's good. It gives you purpose. It gives you, something to look forward to. That's, with me and Paisley, it's like she's attached to me. Like I have never felt really this way, about a pet or a person in my entire life. It's like I don't have any kids of my own, so pretty much like Paisley is like my daughter and whatnot, and it's just a crazy feeling. Going for 2, safe. Your favorite Juan Bozo Soto with a double. Let's see how much time we have left before the third period. Still commercials. God, these commercials just go on forever. Or anything that you want to see in the meantime while we're waiting, either Sarah or Megan? I got you. It's okay, Paisley. I'll be done in a little bit.
It's just been some weird baseball recently for San Diego. They've not yet come together, but here with Machado getting healthy, they did lose Nelson Cruz to the injured list with a hamstring problem. Machado takes a strike. It is called a double, so Soto gets a 2-base hit out of that. Bob Melvin is season number 2 as a manager of the San Diego Padres, longtime manager in Oakland, who does just a tremendous job on the bench.
Machado, 225 average. That's crazy. Only 5 home runs and 19 ribbies. Shows you like how many legends are struggling. Guys that are like first ballot Hall of Famers that just can't fucking hit this year. It's not just a couple teams too. It's a lot of them. I love Florida's confidence. Seems like maybe I'm the only one going for Florida, but again, the easy choice is Vegas, as the best team. But every once in a while, Cinderella, they put on that slipper and then they end up going all the way. Could it be Florida this year? It's possible. I just got to let the sports gods know. They'll be like, oh, he wants them to win? Okay. Let's go. All right, baby. Third period. Tied up at 2. You couldn't ask for a better setup, for a first game right here. It's not, 5-2. It's not 3-0. Like, we're engaged. We have been engaged the whole game. And I'm fucking ready for this third period. And obviously, we normally see certain guys step up in the third period. Captain Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, and then on the flip side, Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe. Who will step up? Or will it be, one of the lower name individuals that steps up like we've had today? It's possible. All right, once we get to a commercial break, we'll go into that. Love me some Aaron Judge. Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen Aaron Judge multiple times, but I haven't seen Ohtani or Trout yet. And then obviously we got to see where Ohtani goes. Oh, Vegas! Big hit. Knocked a Florida player right down to the ice. Was that Carlson? or not Carlson, but was that William Carrier? Yeah, it was. Boom, Carrier. Bow. Wow. Okay. He said, I got him. He said, I'm going to fuck you up. Boom. All right, 19 minutes left. $24 shots on goal for Florida, 21 for Vegas. Hits, 28 for Florida, Vegas with 24, and that's what's keeping them in the game. And Florida has caught up on the faceoffs. It's now 31-22. It's a 9, obviously point difference on the faceoffs, but it was like 15. So at least Florida is finding a way. And Florida is so sneaky on getting goals late. When it just seems like it's over, the game is over, we're going to go to overtime, or it's just going to end 2-1, and then Florida keeps on playing. It's like in the NFL, you got to play through the whistle. You got to keep going, even when other people are like kind of frozen. And Florida gets a lot of their goals, not cheap goals, but they just never quit. And I can appreciate that. Sergey with the save. And then getting chippy here again. I love it. I love this series. Not JT in the building. How are you, brother? How was the weather up in Washington today? Pretty hot, like it was here in Oregon. It was pretty comfortable today. I mean, if I didn't have fucking shin splints from walking Paisley so often, I would be a little bit better, but at least I, lost the wallet, got it back, and I didn't lose, my social. It wasn't even in there. I did cancel my debit and credit card, so I'm going to have to wait a few days for those. But not having to go to the DMV and get a license or a new social, that really made me happy, because just the thought of having to go to like downtown Portland and get a new social with all the information, it's a pain in the ass, dude. Like, it sucks. And then getting a license, you have to have all these pieces of identification. You got to wait in line. And then, they don't just send the one that they have on file for you, which would be convenient. They make you take a new picture and all that other bullshit. So just happy about that. Definitely got lucky. Not many people can lose a phone and lose a wallet and actually get them both back and be 2 for 2. But because it was definitely wearing on me a little bit. Not a good feeling when you don't have your phone or your wallet and just wondering what's going on, identity theft. Are they stealing your money? All that. Yeah, Oregon's beautiful. I swear, like, once people come here to Oregon, like once to visit, a lot of times they'll come back again. And a lot of people, they live here. Once you actually see, how nice it is, and it's like I said, every state is going to have kind of a sketchy area like Gresham or Portland, but just don't live there. Live in the burbs. And if you live in, somewhere like I do, you're only about an hour and a half to 2 hours away in any direction of something fun. Going skiing or snowboarding, going to the Pacific Ocean, going to the beach, going to the coast, going camping, lakes, rivers. I mean, hell, I got a fucking lake, river right down like walking distance with Paisley from my house. So Vegas, nice save. Eyes on the prize. God, I hope this goes like 7 games. I just don't know if it will. But hopefully at a very minimum 6. And I definitely think Florida, even though they're the underdog, they're good enough to win 2 to 4 games. The Miami Heat is only good enough to win 1 or 2. So there's a difference, when the people were trying to make that comparison. Also, the Miami Heat were like one of the worst scoring teams in the regular season and just turned it on at the right time. But again, they don't have enough big men to compete with the Joker. Bam Adebayo's nice, but who else? 17 minutes left in the third period. We're knotted up at 2.
With 3 minutes gone here in period 3. Cards are close for this game, but sign up for game 2 so you don't miss your chance to win NHL Shop gift codes. Sign up today. I guess it's been going on a long time. That does not become that. We're in the right city, I guess. Yeah, Keno, bingo, same thing, Kenny. Puck winds around to the left. We hope Doc Ellis would say yes. The Doctors tuned in, so however they're all famous.
Oh, oh, God, they just get so close. Oh, and again, Florida's had 2 hit the crossbar, so it could be 4-2 at this point. And the only way you're going to be able to defeat, when you have the David Goliath story, is you have to punch first and punch often. You can't get punched and beaten down, as the number 1 seed, older brother beating up on younger brother. You have to be able to show that, hey, I might be younger brother, but, it's like kind of like the J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt. T.J. obviously was younger, but now it's like, J.J.'s kind of on the way out. And who would have thought that T.J. would be anywhere even near J.J.'s skill set? But here we are. Great game. Hell of a lot more entertaining than the Nuggets and the Heat. Now, if we got Nuggets and the Bucks, that would have been the best finals to me. I mean, yeah, I know Celtics-Lakers would have been good for a lot of people. And hell, if we would have gotten that scenario, Lakers probably would have went all the way if we ended up getting Lakers-Celtics. I don't know. Missoula would have been able to get it done. Oh! Good defense by Florida. And both goalies have been very impressive considering how much offensive firepower on both of these teams. For it to be 2-2, very impressed. I mean, hell, these guys are so good. It wouldn't even shock me if we have a game in the series be like 2-1. I know that's really low scoring-wise, but the goalies are so good, it could happen. But I think, whoa! Whoa, he got checked into his teammates. Holy shit. He went over the board into into the open area where all the players are sitting. He went over the board. You get hit hard when you get checked and you fly over. Oh. 14:45 left in the third period. Fantastic matchup. There we go. Let's go, baby.
What a skillful player. This top prospect is ahead of a lot of guys.
Oh.
Crossing center pass, puck knocked out of the air by Eric Stahl. Back into the long on the hook. Tyler White.
14 minutes left in the third period.
So the Knights play the zone. But under 14 minutes remaining, Fabio into the right of Bobrovsky. Mark Stahl back on it. Now declare for Montour.
And really the only one that, that doesn't surprise you out of the 4 goals scored is Jonathan Marchessault. Everyone else is like, what? Stahl, Theodore, Duclair? It's just wild. But that's what makes it so much fun. You just never know. And some of the goals have been from deep, too. Think about how good of vision you'd have to have too, especially to be a goalie. Got to have that athleticism, that agility to go from side to side and have a good frame like both do. All right, here goes Vegas. Oh, what a save! Sergey on a 2-on-1. He says denied. Oh, but not that time. 3-2 Vegas. Wow, this matchup is wild. Nice. There's no quit in either of these teams. That's what makes it so fun. Oh, so that was a good save. And then right here. Oh, Sergey should have had that. He should have had that. Zach Whitecloud. And as soon as it went past him, he's like, oh, fuck. That's one that Sergey gets 9 times out of 10. Oh, hooking penalty. Another guy that you wouldn't expect to really do a whole lot. This first game in the Stanley Cup final has been fucking crazy. Like every single goal is coming from someone that you would have no idea that would actually even score. Zach Whitecloud with a goal, wrist shot assisted by Ivan Barbashev and captain Jack Eichel. So goals by Eric Stahl, Jonathan Marchessault, Shea Theodore, Anthony Duclair, and Zach Whitecloud. So like I said, the only one that's expected is Marchessault. Everything else is like, what? And that's why we love NHL action. Now the pressure is on for Florida to tie.
Unique style. Cutting edge innovation. And thoughtful details. Inspired by you.
Matt in the building. What's good, brother?
This is the first ever all-electric.
All right, Ryan. Sounds good.
This is Lexus. Electrified.
Matt, are you having a conversation with yourself? You can talk to me, brother. How's that Hawaii weather, bro? I've been seeing some stuff pop up late last night about the guys that have transferred and some of the names that are looking like, halfway decent players for Oregon. Did you see that list? I mean, there's been some stuff that's come out on like Twitter and Bleacher and whatnot. I know you don't have a Twitter, Matt. You should create one so that way, like I said, a lot of people will talk to me, outside of the streams on like Instagram or Twitter. It's free. It doesn't cost anything unless you want to, pay for the blue check or whatever. But it's, you just, take a picture or use the picture that you use for YouTube, and then you just start following, certain outlets, from your favorite team, Oregon Duck football, NFL, things like that. And then, yeah. But I think you should create one. You don't have to be on there all the time. But to me, it's the best app to be able to get all of your information, video clips, memes, GIFs, all in one place where you don't have to go to multiple places like Facebook and Instagram or Bleacher Report, ESPN app. You can just get everything on Twitter. That's why I like it the best. I mean, of course, there's going to be some bullshit that's on there, just like on any app. But, you don't have to follow the people that are bullshit. Matt Payton in the building. Yeah. I mean, shit, I'm on Twitter fucking probably 10 hours a day, not straight, but I'm always checking my feeds. It's like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm going through those in kind of like a cycle. And I don't really give a shit about Facebook and Instagram, really. I like YouTube and I like Twitter. Those are really the only two that I really care about and the ones that I use. Twitter for reading and watching film and seeing some of those highlights and whatnot and being able to, have that kind of contact with certain people. And then, and then obviously with YouTube, just to being able to do the dream and the goal here. Florida power play, 50 seconds left.
veteran players making really good defensive plays. McNabb doing his part. Smith doing
All right, Zach, I see you.
plays consecutively.
Shay Theodore, I see you as well.
Defensive play at the line by Hayes. Now it's carried across by Barkov. And again, a shot
Ooh,
from Verhage. Up into the netting. 32
come on, Verhage. You got to get going, bro.
Vegas penalty. Off the shoulder, the side of the mask. We're going to go back to a play here. Watch out, Petrangelo. Florida's going to walk up. It's going to pass. We're going to watch the puck explode on Matthew Tkachuk, and then it's pressure by Petrangelo. Right now, he goes. Forces an air pass. They're able to clear it out. There's that other stick there by Smith, and right after that, it was McNabb that bumped it back to Smith and allowed Vegas to exit the zone. Markel wins the draw. Forsling, far circle shot, missed it in. Forsling with it again. Back down by the 80. Pressure by Carlson. 3 points. County too far for Carlson. Are we talking about face-offs? Back in that second.
All right, 10 seconds left in the power play.
28 to 14. Florida's won 18 of the last 22.
All right, full strength. 28 shots on goal for Florida, 25 for Vegas. 31 hits for Florida, 26 for Vegas. And faceoffs won. Florida's caught up finally. They were down by like 15 on the faceoffs won. Now it's 32-30. And both teams have 6 minutes and penalty minutes. So Florida's right there. You know, they just need to be able to win one of the first 2. Ideally, winning the first 2 on the road would be, you know, increasing their chances tenfold to win it all. But we already know how good Vegas is, so that would be very difficult. But Florida is not getting bullied, and they're not getting pushed around. They're right there with them. You know, this is not the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. But even if Florida does lose this game, I mean, they're playing the right way. You know, they're playing aggressively to be able to try to give themselves a shot. Sergey with a save.
Saved with Navy Federal Credit Union. They really take care of me. Can't imagine what I'd do without them. Proud to share our support of the military with the NHL. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
We are always in motion. Getting this, fixing that, arriving to destinations in life and around the globe. Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's a blur. Because life never stops, you need someone you can trust to go right along with you, no matter where the future leads. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
These are the people who help you stay well, searching lower prices and brands you love on the shelves, behind the counter or in the aisles. Healthcare's better when it happens together.
CVS Pharmacy, healthcare happens together.
We got the house!
Pods handles the driving. Pack at your pace, store your things until you're ready, then we deliver to your new home, across town or across the country. Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Penalty on Eric Stahl, cross-checking. Uh-oh. He's like, guess what? I got a goal, but I'm going to fucking fuck everything up for Florida here at the end. Come on, bro. What do we got going on with the Cubs and the Padres? Padres 2, Cubs 0 on FS1, bottom of the second. All right, 9:56 left in the third period. Vegas with a power play. They're up 3-2. It's been very even. Goalie play, even though it is 3-2, has been very good. and a lot of unexpected heroes in this game one. Minute 30 left in the power play. 9:25 left in the third period. Vegas crowd booing. It's like, bro, you're up one. Energy has been good from the very start. Oh! Captain Jack Eichel with a little hit to the head there. Game 2 Monday, Game 3 Thursday. Wow, why so many days? I mean, I get the travel. And then Game 4 Saturday and Game 5 Tuesday. God, they really are spreading out the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. But I guess they need them, fresh. They don't want to be playing back-to-back nights when it's the Stanley Cup, right? Or the NBA Finals. They want to spread it out a little bit. I guess that's good for them, but not for someone that streams like me, not so good. I mean, I just have to find other things to do on those particular days, like Dodgers or Mariners or something, or like NASCAR. All right, less than a minute to go on the power play. 8:45 left in the third period. 3-2 Vegas. Yeah, it seemed like it was kind of every other day up until the Stanley Cup. They want them fresh.
He's battling through something, as Kenny mentioned in period number 1. He has not skated as well as he did throughout the playoffs to this point.
All right, we're about to be full strength now. All right, full strength. 7:50 left in the third period. Vegas up 3-2. And nice save, Sergey. $7:20 left in the third period. 31 shots on goal for Florida, 26 for Vegas. Same stat line for the hits. Florida 31-26. And Florida finally caught up with the faceoffs one. Now it's 34-33, but they need to execute and try to be able to tie this up before we, obviously end the third period to go to OT. Penalty minutes 8 for Florida, 6 for Vegas. But just the goal scoring is just wild. Eric Stahl, Shea Theodore, Anthony Duclair, Zach Whitecloud. You could play 7 games and not have any of those guys score. Wild.
NHL's biggest stars on their quest Stanley Cup.
$11. Let's get to a hundo. 89 to go.
Stanley Cup final. Aiden Hill and the Golden Knights with a 3-2 lead. There's that power play for Vegas when they've gone to 3 lines here. Haven't seen that the 4th line much here in the last 3-4 minute rotation. Or sent down by Stone. Now he's being taken to it. Now Penny comes over for Florida. Penny goes back out. Stone after that goal for Stevenson. Stevenson
Oh!
is caught up. You got to get the stick down. That was Penny. There's one shot with a shot.
Florida needs a... Oh, stolen. Oh, baby, that might be it. That might be the game right there. The game winner. Wow. And like I said, Florida just needs to get that puck out of the zone, and just too many shots. You know, you're on the road. You need to stay aggressive, and they did for the first couple periods, and then just slowly started to fall apart to the best team in the world, in the hockey world today, and that's the Vegas Golden Knights. Nice job. Stole it too right there. Mark Stone, unbelievable. Another guy that could play, you know, the whole series, and you could, you know, does he score? Does he not? Like so many others coming up in the clutch. Are they reviewing? Oh, talking about a high stick. All right, so we'll see if this one sticks or not.
Yeah, the focus here is on above the normal height of the shoulder. So if a player's 6'1" and he's leaning over, and he makes him 6 foot or 5'11", that's above the normal height of the shoulder is what we gotta look at here. And that's what it's quoted in the rule, the normal height. So he's leaning over, as we see. That's a tough angle there. This is going to be a tough call. But it's the normal height of the shoulders what I want everybody to realize. And look here on this angle.
All right, so they say no high sticking and the goal is good, which is the right call. 4-2 Vegas. Mark Stone, Zach Whitecloud, Shea Theodore, unbelievable. But that's like, you know, that's why it's really tough to be able to beat a team like that. You know, it's like you get all these other role players that you don't expect anything from, and then they deliver. Look at this steal right here. Unbelievable. Gets it with his stick, and then right there, he goes top shelf, which is where you need to go. You got to go top shelf, and it worked. Nice job. Yeah, not enough from Kachuk and, you know, Verhaeghe and Bennett. You know, Sergei's doing the best that he can, but you got to be able to help him out too. Let's see if Florida keeps fighting, and the more they fight here at the very end, the better chance they have to win game 2 and to even the series. Even if they lose 4-3, that's a hell of a lot better than 4-2. But also in hockey, you can get back-to-back goals pretty quick also. So even when it looks like it's over, a lot of times, like in the NFL or the NBA, sometimes with NHL, you know, you can find a way. Nice save by Sergei. And Sergei never gives up this many goals in a game. But again, Vegas is very, very good. Shots on goal, Florida 32, Vegas 28. Hits, Florida 32, Vegas 27. Faceoffs 1, 36-33, Vegas. And penalty minutes, Florida 10, Vegas 6. But I've been watching a lot of the games, you know, throughout the playoffs, and just the names that are mentioned with the goals that are scored is just unbelievable. I haven't seen a game like this where you've had one regular score and then the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just kind of out of the blue. And that's why Vegas is being treated like the Denver Nuggets. $11. Let's get to a hundo. 89 to go.
Panthers tied this game late in the second period on the replay goal. Vegas with 2 goals on 4 shots.
All right, 4:50 left in the third period. Third period chance is 8 for Vegas, Florida 1. I mean, they just haven't had, a good opportunity. Now they're kind of, on the defensive a little bit. And things can change very quickly. You could be dominating in the first period, dominating the second, but oh, I thought that was going to be another goal. Oh, they're getting chippy out there. They're fighting now, throwing haymakers. Fisticuffs. It's always kind of a weird position too when the refs are trying to break it up, right? They're trying to break it up, and then one guy, is kind of just taking it easy while the other guy's still staying aggressive, and then they get that one last cheap shot in. All right, 4:24 left in the third period. What happened? Kachuk get ejected? That's not good. Oh, there goes their chances. I mean, they didn't really have much of a chance at this point anyways, but
we're going to get any kind of an announcement. Looks like Wes McCauley's looking for the Panthers to get another player over into the penalty box. Keeps holding up 4 fingers. It looks like there's only a 4-minute penalty to chuck up on the board. So looks like you get 4 in a misconduct, probably 4 in a 10. Because if it was only, if he did get a misconduct, he would go into the penalty box. Or again, without any announcement, we're just trying to figure it all out like everybody else is. Probably a good chance it's not the last get together with both teams here in game 1 that we will. Wes McCauley telling the bench of the Panthers to send somebody over to the box, and there goes Nick Cousins to serve the penalty. So there will be a 2-man advantage, 5-second command on the initial penalty. Only 3 Florida Panthers on the ice. And in Florida, you're looking to kill this to get to 5 against 4, or 4 against 5, I should say. And then you're like, hey, we get possession of the puck. We're going to fly this over.
All right, Vegas 5-on-3.
At some point to get it to 5-on-5.
Yeah, especially when it's like your best player. You know what? That's tough. When it rains, it pours, I guess, when shitty things happen, right? But you got to give all kudos to Vegas. They're the real deal. It would be a little shocking for them to lose game 1 or game 2, honestly, the way that they played. All right, 3:35 left in the third period. This one is pretty much all but said and done. Nice save.
Well, they did try to go from the baseline out there, a little bit of adjustment by Vegas. Let's see if we can listen and hear the cross check. Petrangelo on right, waits for the Vegas bench. That was the second stick that Petrangelo broke on that shift. One on the offensive zone and one on the defensive zone. They just brought over the one that broke in Florida's end to the bench.
Oh, I just saw what got Tkachuk ejected. I saw it on the bleacher. So they had one teammate when they had the little scrum when they, obviously they were just kind of scrapping after the whistle was blown. And one player had one of the Vegas players or teammate held him while Tkachuk threw the punch. So he was holding him by the neck and his face was exposed and he came up and just popped him. So that's why he ended up getting tossed out. Emotions definitely getting high. Vegas power play again. 36 penalty minutes for Florida, 8 for Vegas. Well, you already know what happened then. Oh, here we go. 1-on-1. Oh, he missed it. Fuck. Oh, he had a great opportunity there. That could have been 4-3. With 2 minutes to go, that could have been like a good opportunity for momentum to shift. Great save by Aiden Hill, but that was their chance to close the gap, 1-on-1. I mean, you're going to get 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 or 1-on-2 only a few times in the game. Oh, empty net. And there it is. He said, get out of here. All right, Matt. I'll talk to you tomorrow, brother. 5-2 Vegas.
Well, let's not forget the save by Aiden Hill right before this. Short-handed, Jonesy, you mentioned it. The shot by Haig, but as soon as that happens, watch Reinhardt. He's cheating.
Riley Smith, wrist shot assisted by Captain Jack Eichel. It's crazy. It's like a different person stepping up each time. Kind of like with the Kraken, we'd usually have a different player step up. Riley Smith, I see you. 1 minute 25 left in the third period. Vegas imposing their will. All right, 1 minute to go. And like I said, I thought Florida played really well in the first two periods, but obviously in the third period, that's where the armor started to crack a little bit. And then Vegas finally turned into the more aggressive team, and they played like it. Got 3 goals in the third period. Nice job. Making Sergei look average in that third period. 35 seconds to go. Oh, try to get a deflection there. 20 seconds to go. Final score, 5-2 Vegas Golden Knights. Wow. Now they lead the series 1-0, and then we'll have to wait a few days for game 2, which I believe is Monday. All right. Well, at this point, normally we usually go a little bit longer, and try to do like different things like food and whatnot. Turnout was a little low and not what I expected, but it's the story of my life. So at this point, I'm just going to end the stream and I'll hang out with Paisley, and hopefully one day, we can get the results that I feel that we deserve here. So, but I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you to everyone that came through, shared, donated, commented, and we'll see what we end up doing tomorrow. We'll probably end up doing either the NASCAR race around noon or possibly the NBA Finals Game 2, Nuggets and Heat. I believe that's around 5:30. So we'll end up doing one of those events or possibly both. We'll decide tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day and your night, and hopefully things can get a little bit better moving forward. I got one question for you. Who talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.